today.
Yeah, it's what you said. You were gonna fly today.
And they were talking about doing easy acro and all the stuff. And Johnny told him on Drone Nation, yes, last night, he said, yeah, Joe and I are gonna go. So Captain Joe and I are gonna go fly tomorrow. He said, I'll use his drone first. I told him, I said, you can use, I said, go ahead and use my drone. Just bring that brand new one you got in the box.
What'd he say?
They started laughing. The DJI did send a second one. He's got it on his counter in the back, waiting for the return label.
Oh, they charged him?
Well, they got it it's held right now
Okay.
because they knew he was canceled, so they did pending on the payment, and they're sending them. They couldn't stop it fast enough. So they must have been sending them out quick. That's the only thing I can think. That's fast.
Yeah, well, at least I'm gonna get it posted on here. I won't get the invites actually physically sent, but then again, everybody says they never get them right away, you know?
Yeah, everybody's got your link.
Here comes Mark.
Hello, Paul. Joe.
What? What's up? Yeah.
Well,
Corey
lot
Mono.
of
Hey, Corey, how are you doing?
hi, Corey.
Corey.
Well, a lot of people on last night have got the Avata 2.
A lot of people are just like,
Yeah, Marcus and Ron both got it. Marcus hasn't opened his yet.
Marcus is
Lloyd.
probably getting ready to do it today.
Yeah, Lloyd's got it.
So what are you
The
up
only
to,
person on
Corey?
the only person on donation last night was DeMarco didn't have one.
DeMarco didn't have it, yeah.
Yeah, I kept messing with him, telling him, go buy it, pull the trigger. He said, Daddy's got other responsibilities.
Yeah.
And then he turned around and said he had it in his cart and canceled it. He had it. He was going to do it.
Even Lloyd managed to get it.
Go lay down. Go lay down. Whoa. So I get up. I take 3 pills out in the morning for Loki and put them in a backpack here. So I give him one about now.
Mm-hmm.
Then I give him one about 2:30. Then I give him one before we go to bed. Last night I got up and looked at it, did everything, went to bed, got up this morning, came back, there it was. Didn't give it to him last night.
What?
And he's fine. Unless he had a seizure overnight when I didn't know it. He's fine. But I gave it to him this morning. But Brittany came over yesterday, my daughter, and she said he actually even is acting like a different dog than she remembers. Because he's been with me now almost 2 years, about 2 years.
Yeah.
And I treat him different than everybody else treats him. But the funny part, my son was sitting over here yesterday, and my son's chewing gum. And hey Justin, what's up?
Hi, Justin.
And my son's chewing gum, and you know how people pop the gum in their mouth and make that popping noise? He popped it. Loki jumped about a foot in the air, ran and got behind me, and then peeked out and looked to see what was going on. And Justin says, "What the hell? What did Loki grew up in the hood or what?" Every time he'd pop it, he'd get behind something and look out, like peek out. You know, he said he must have grew up in the hood.
That's funny.
What's up,
Oh,
Corey?
it was. That'd have been a great short. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I told that to Brittany. Brittany said, yeah, he's always been that way. But if I clap my hand like this real hard, he's behind something looking, you know?
I know.
It's funny. So Lance should be coming on, and he told me, asked me if I was going to fly the Mavic 3 with the goggles today. Now I don't know if you could do it with the new goggles. I know you could do it with the Integra goggles, but I've never done it where you hook the motion controller up with the Mavic 3 with the goggles, and then you could fly that like that. But that drone to me, it's just that's too expensive of a drone to be flying with a motion controller.
Yeah, I don't know whether you can with the Mavic 3 or whether it's just the Air 3 and the Mini 4 at the moment.
Yeah, that's the
with the
that's
new
with the new goggles. Yeah. But you see the rumor, the word is, and the word is from good sources, that these goggles within about a month are going to backtrack to be able to apply the original Avata. And now let me tell you, this is where I'm going to be totally pissed off. Because if they could take OcuSync 4 and go back to OcuSync 3, then why can't they take OcuSync, if they could backtrack with it?
Yeah.
It might be a chip. Now, it might be a chip, but I'm thinking it's more firmware. Why can't we fly other drones or the OcuSync 4s with that RC Pro?
Yep.
I'm pretty sure the systems they use at that OcuSync is the same in all those controllers. They just, it's what they put on them.
Yeah, it is. It's supposed to be just the amount of antennas and the gain that makes it into the next level of OcuSync.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be.
The same. It's still the same transmission frequencies.
Because I'll be honest with you, I paid $1,200 for that controller, and the only reason I bought it is because they said it was the controller you'll be able to use with the drones. You know, and
oh, nice, Corey.
Then when they came out with the next one, that was it.
Hey, Corey, when you get above board with that i9, if you want to shoot it on over to me, I'll take it off your hands. What's up, Johnny? Here to harass Joe?
Yeah, he's going to harass me in about an hour.
Hi, Johnny.
I'm going to fly. Yeah, he was talking last night. I was about to mention him just now. He was talking last night about he was having problems flying an Easy Acro. And he said, but he's coming out there with me today, so he's going to use my drone and do it.
That's what I've been saying, Corey. It's all about making money, dude. They're not going to make things backwards compatible or forwards compatible until they sell so many units, and then that'd be worth them doing that. But they definitely want people to buy as much as possible in the first few months.
Hey Johnny, if you want to use mine like for Acro and all of that, that's okay. Just bring that new one with you. The one is unopened.
Yeah, it's all marketing. It's them trying to make money. Make things too cross compatible, and then people don't buy certain things, and they don't have to, and they don't make as much money. And sometimes
we're going
things
flying around about 10 this morning. We're going flying.
Well, sometimes things like you said, like you want them to do, make sense, but then they'll never end up doing it.
Yeah, I had a lot of things I used to tell my wife to do that made sense, but she wouldn't do.
I mean, and them pretty much having a monopoly over the market, they can pretty much set the standard on shit. You don't really have a choice. You either fly or you don't. I mean, you can make your own pre-built or home-built quads if you really want to, but yeah.
Hey, TJ. I got one note on all of this, though.
Hey, TJ.
You know how it came out where everybody for weeks have been talking about the possible drone ban, right? DJI drone ban.
Uh-huh.
But man, that new drone came out, and how many people bought them? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's because half of them are living under rocks thinking that's never gonna happen. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. They're looking at it from the
Yeah.
drone community perspective instead of it's one small part in a big ass anti-Chinese thing. You gotta be careful. You gotta pay attention to it. Can't just brush it off.
I don't think it's gonna happen. If it happens, I don't think it's anywhere near right now.
I'm just saying you can't just brush it off and assume it's not going to, though, is what I'm saying. Because you should always be prepared that it may happen at some point. Everybody, all these big guys in the drone community just assume it's not gonna happen because they're bitching to their congressmen and their senators and everything else. They don't give a shit about that.
Lance is getting ready to fly.
I am, but all of my batteries are right there.
Oh,
I am
We're gonna
not
start calling
happy.
you TJ.
I would never take off unless it's a full battery.
I am not happy, I tell you.
What'd you forget to charge your batteries?
Yeah, I thought they were. I thought I at least had one charge, but all three of them are 2 lights.
No,
Well, can't you put them in the what's it and charge one of them up with the others?
No,
No.
not with that. Not that's the Mavic 3.
not the Mavic 3.
And it
Yeah,
don't
we
do
only
that.
have like 15 minutes, so no.
Oh, on the Mavic 3, you can
Yeah, Mavic 3.
like
How
sync the
long
batteries
are you gonna
together.
be flying?
Not very long, but
Oh,
you
you've
know,
got the two left, haven't you?
I'm flying
you
over
had-
water.
He's
If
flying
you're over
over water.
50%, you should be good.
42% is this battery. I may take it up in a minute.
I'd get the one with the most because I've put them up before with 54%, just for a little fast flight.
Yeah,
I
but
do that
he's
with the
running-
Air 2S all the time.
Hold on, so
No,
you
he's
can-
at 42% battery. By the time he takes off, it's gonna be down in the 20s.
No, that not with the Mavic 3. It doesn't eat it that much.
He should
It's a
be
little
all right
slower.
if he's only gonna be like 10 minutes or something.
Yeah, I get the Air 2S sometimes if I charge the batteries and I don't fly for a while. I'll get out there and have about 54, 56%, and then I'll fly them all. I'll get 8-9 minutes out of each flight.
Oh, so
And
with the
I'll do
Mavic,
it that way just to discharge it right.
so with the Mavic 3 batteries, you can charge the other batteries with the batteries.
No, that's with the Mini 4 and the Air 3.
Chasing a tugboat.
Oh, wow.
Does
Yeah,
it
you
not
put
do
all the
good?
stuff in the charger, the hub, and it pulls from the other batteries to charge the one with the most.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a new system. Same thing with the Avata too.
40%. I'm out. About
Speaking of which,
600
thank you, Lance. Speaking of which, I gotta do a battery. Let me go grab it.
chasing a tugboat or some type of boat.
Are you gonna be out there for a while, or are you just doing a quick flight?
Just a quick flight, you know. I'm
I
at
was gonna say,
39%.
throw them in the car and charge them.
39%. I've been up for about, let's see, I've been recording for 1 minute.
How long those batteries take to charge up?
An hour.
That's why I loved having that smart tree charger when I had the Air 2.
You should get 10 or 15 minutes out of 40%, shouldn't you?
Some type of car tug or something, not a tug, but a boat. Has a lift, looks like you roll a car on the front. Kind of cool. Don't see many of those. %.
That's eating it.
I'll fly out to the big ship here. Give
Has it got
Paul money. Paul will have to tell me what kind of ship this is.
Yeah, what's up, TJ?
Morning, TJ.
I honestly don't think that Air 2 TJ lost. I don't know really if that was from the battery unless it had a swelling issue or something. I think that was just a flyaway. Because that Air
What
2
hap-
was pretty old. It got used quite a bit.
What happened to TJ?
It was a while back. His Air 2 took off on him. But he had a low battery in it when he was flying. I think that was just a flyaway.
Johnny put in the chat, charge your batteries, Joe. So I got 2 batteries charged. The one I flew yesterday, I'm gonna charge. So give me 3. Give me the 3 today. So I'm just gonna take I'm gonna probably bring I might bring the Air 2S just to have a camera drone with me. But I'm planning on flying the Avata 2 more.
Well, 3 batteries will give you an hour of flight, won't it?
I got an idea. Take the Air 2S out, hover it,
about-
and then let Johnny, you can film Johnny flying yours around.
Yeah, right.
I'll show you how it's done.
Yeah, I can see that. I know how he flies. I've
Has
seen
he
him
put
get
his in
fences
acro
before.
yet?
Yeah. No, he's flown in the other one in manual,
The Avata 2?
the Avata.
No, what about the 2?
He doesn't have the sticks yet.
Oh yeah, you can't fly a manual with the motion controller, huh?
No.
Yeah. And I'm gonna be honest with you. If I flew the other one, if I flew the original in manual and then I got the new one, I probably wouldn't put it in manual. For one reason, it doesn't look to me as sturdy as the other one. Looks that if you take one of those 40-foot crashes into the ground, I think you're gonna crack something.
Well, Corey
Whereas
said do
the
a
other
chase
ones
video.
just bounce around a little bit.
Actually,
those guards aren't as thick as on the original, are they?
Oh, they're not as thick. You can see it. It almost looks like if you squeeze them hard enough, they'll break.
Is the how fast is the Avata 2 without putting it in manual? What's your top
35.
speed?
35 and sport.
Oh yeah, you could do a chase video with the Air 2. It's faster. The Air 2S.
Well, we're going to where there's a lot of soccer fields, a lot of big open areas today. So I wanna open it up. I haven't put it in sport mode yet. You know, I haven't had it in sport mode yet, and I've been getting 19 miles an hour in normal. So 19 a foot off the ground is fast enough for me.
Oh yeah.
Especially when you're going through a playground at 19 miles per hour, and you get to the other side of the playground, and remember they got a layer of bricks that brick it in. That's about 6 inches higher than where you were. You know.
That sounds like a lot of seagulls, Lance.
Yeah, a lot of seagulls where I am for sure. Bringing it.
Watch out for the seagulls, man. Don't be hitting any seagulls.
Bring it in.
Hi, Tage.
With
battery, I'm in good shape.
Yeah, Johnny said he's thinking about bringing the one they built, the quad they built. What's up, Teej?
What's happening?
Your thing is still right here.
I thought seagulls were down in Florida. What? Like, I never heard of a seagull where you're at, Lance.
Seagulls everywhere.
Oh, awesome!
You're the seagull capital of the world.
I painted it a little bit for you.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, that's awesome.
We're the seagull capital of the world, TJ.
Huh?
We are the seagull capital of the world.
Oh, for real?
No, but we've got them.
Yeah,
You can hear them.
You might have a little bit more than us.
Hey, Lance, what do you call a seagull that flies over the bay?
I don't know what.
A bagel.
Okay, that's
Somebody
funny.
mute him.
I'm gonna walk over to the seagulls and show you guys. Here they are fighting.
Wait,
That's
TJ?
pretty
TJ,
There they.
that's my trash can.
good.
They are fighting right here. You guys see them? You guys see my seagulls?
Yeah,
There they are. Oh, and they're leaving me.
That's a good thing.
So I was
Well,
work.
I had my cup of tea and my cigarette in nice sunshine, and then I walked in, and now it's raining.
So there's a 2-stall parking lot right here where I fly, and I'm just outside the park. And every time I come, there's a car here, and they're waiting on their buddy to come and do illegal things, I'm sure.
When the hell did that happen?
And I scared him. I scared the guy away. He drove up, pulled out my
What
drone.
happened at JFK Airport?
And that's the
Yes, Johnny, it is an art joke. That's a joke that art would tell for sure.
See that?
Cody!
Freaking van got wedged under a motor at JFK Airport.
Dude, that
Under
is
a jet
stupid.
engine. I don't know how the hell they managed to
was
do
that
that.
car like literally like was that car wedged underneath that
Yeah, it
plane
was at
that plane
JFK
engine?
Airport.
Yep.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
That's gonna cost somebody some money. And a job.
What happened, Justin?
Oh, a car at JFK Airport. It was a service vehicle for the airport, got wedged under the jet engine. I don't know how the hell that happened.
How long ago was that?
That was, I think, yesterday.
What was that guy thinking? Like, oh, let me just park right here.
I think the plane was probably there first.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah, that sounds about accurate.
That's what happens when you're driving, you drop your phone, you reach down and get it and don't pay attention to that.
Yeah, exactly.
You heard a scraping sound, looked up and said, oh, damn.
Oh, that's a big fuck up too.
That's going to put the plane out of action for a while they do a good check over it.
It's like I didn't see the plane; it came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I just dropped my phone and then I looked up and how the hell did I get here?
Oh, man, Mr. Who's the Boss did a video on the Insta360 X4. They came out with.
Yeah, TJ, the guy drops and looks up and goes, my bad.
Yeah. Oops. My bad.
Insta360 is supposed to be bringing a new something out today or tomorrow.
Yeah, it's the X4. It's the X3 was the last one that they came out. That's the one that Matt always gives round crap about.
Yeah.
Hey Johnny, look what I got. Look what I got now.
They had to have come out today if you released the video today.
Yeah.
How many minutes you get there, TJ?
On a full battery, I was flying it around in the store last night at work. Like when it was dead, I was like kind of just flying it around. Like you get probably 10, 15 minutes of flight time on the thing.
Good time.
It flies pretty well. It flies better than the ones that I won from Kelly Shores.
I actually had that same drone.
The little Potensic.
Yeah, I had the same one, the same color, everything. I had it like a year and a half, 2 years ago. That's been around for a while. That one.
Yeah, Johnny. It's a pretty sweet drone. It flies really well. I'm surprised. But yeah, definitely doesn't fly. Definitely not made for outdoors. More for indoors.
I had that one. I bought that one to fly in here. I think it was the same one. Might not have been. Potentially, might have said another brand name.
Randy got the camo one. Well, when I went on Amazon, and was looking for them, all I saw was a green one, a yellow one, and a red one. I didn't see any of the
Yeah,
other
Randy,
colors.
they do have cameras. You can do mapping and everything with that drone.
Yeah, okay.
He does cell tower inspections with it. No, it doesn't.
No,
have a
I
So
don't
you-
think, I
so-
don't think it has. I don't think it has acro, but it can. I don't know. Maybe it does. I think. I don't know.
Didn't
Maybe
that one
it-
have a flip button though, where it would do a flip? I think the controller had a flip button on it, if I remember
So-
correctly.
so-
Or it's
so-
another one I'm thinking of.
So to do mapping on that is you lay the map out and lay it on top, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because I had a few little small ones
Yeah, I
like
think
that.
it's got the. Yeah, I think there's a mapping on it. I have no idea.
Not
Like
mapping, a flip button.
A mapping button. Oh, okay.
No,
Yeah,
I mean
No, it's
the
not.
the,
acro,
L,
it's
the
just
LED
for-
the LED light on this thing's pretty bright.
I'll
No,
be
it's
back
just
in a
for
bit.
buzzing
Got a phone
around.
call.
Randy, it doesn't do anything special. Just buzz it around in the house.
Like I said, I bought one that was a different brand,
Laura!
and I was flying it around in here, and one of the dogs started chasing it.
Does it have collision avoidance too?
Yeah, if you don't run into things, yeah.
No acro is a no-go for me.
I thought those had a flip button you push and it would do a flip.
I think
think
it
it does.
does.
But I had a few different little ones like that a couple of years ago, and one of them did a flip. You could press the little
Like
button.
there's
That's
this,
it right there.
Yeah, I think
the one-
that's
the
it.
one with
Yeah,
the-
where you press it and it'll just do a little flip real
Yeah,
quick.
the flip on the side.
then there's these two right here. I don't know what.
Yeah, it's
what-
high, low. That
And
your
then the other
HL
one's
is
for
how
flying through
fast you want
snow.
it to go.
What's the little northeast, southeast?
That's
South and west, what is that?
probably
Little compass.
the high low is your speed. So if you want it to go faster, you press that.
Oh,
That's because it has two different speeds.
gotcha.
I can't remember. You're gonna have to look it up. I'm not sure what those but I
just
can't
gonna
remember.
map-
It's been so long.
I'm just gonna mash buttons and just see what happens.
I was looking at Captain Drone one day. This wrapped up. This was about a year ago, and they had a Cetus. I can't remember what the brand was, and it was on Amazon for about $198, $200. And he said it was great for flying inside, and it was a nice little drone. When I got it here, it was a nice drone. But what happened is if it pick up some low light, it start losing its sensors. And when I started it up, I was flying. I had it flying, hovering perfect, and it lost its sensors. Went across, took a picture off the wall, bounced off my 65-inch TV, came back, buzzed my head, and I have no control over it, and landed in a sink right next to the thing of water. And then I got it up again, and it started doing the same thing, and it chased the dog down the hall. It was like I put it back in the box, gave it back to Amazon. But it would be hovering and all of a sudden just take off in like sport mode. Yeah.
Like it had a mind of its own, huh?
Oh, it was something. But it was funny because when it hit the picture, knocked the picture off the wall, hit the Christmas tree, knocked a bulb off the tree. One of the ornaments off the tree went flying. Then it rolled right up, hit my TV, bounced off my TV. That's what got me mad. That's what got me nervous because I said, that ain't happening.
Was this like a little mini drone that you had?
Yeah, it was a little bit. It was about 3 times that size what you had. So it was a little bit too big to be bouncing off a television.
Did it have the guards?
$1,800 television.
Did it have the guards and shit on it?
Oh yeah, it did, but it didn't matter
was
because, like I
scratched.
said, it came this way and buzzed past me, and it cut across this little open area I got over here, and it hit the top and bounced down into the sink, and it was upside down right next to a dish of water, where it just missed landing in the water.
Johnny, what's happening? I don't think he's got his audio.
Your best friend said to check your messages, Justin.
I want to know what the sensors on the Avata 2 are good for. I think that's kind of a misnomer. I mean, why put sensors on an FPV drone? That's so ridiculous.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something they're not good for. I have now had 2 incidents where I've tried to go under something about a foot off the ground, and when I get down there, it starts trying to pick back up. I'm thinking it's sensing the ground and saying, "You gotta get back up."
Hi, Randy, Laura.
That in the firmware change needs to happen. I want to fly under a bench. It doesn't sound like I'm going to be able to. Which
Now,
I didn't catch any of that.
You're going through a bit
Yeah.
of a dodgy area, Lance.
yeah, he was saying something about he has a bench he flies on. He might not be able to fly under a bench. I heard bench. That's what I think he's
I
saying.
heard Twitch.
Yeah.
He's talking about.
bench.
And I saw a girl walking by, and I thought I heard bitch too. But
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he just said that to me.
Yeah.
You guys are funny. Okay, I'm here at the rock pile. No one's here yet, so I'm just gonna.
Johnny, where you at? Johnny has got that Temu camera going.
Yeah,
Trying to get it
probably
working.
does.
Mhm.
There he is.
There he is.
I don't know what this time. Can you hear me?
Johnny's new at
You're
this.
very low. Yeah, but we can hear you.
You recognize this, Joe?
Nope, because you're completely frozen.
You froze. Yeah, yeah, I know. I've seen one of those before.
Yeah, I've seen him before.
That's on my Avata 1 case that hopefully soon will be in the hands of somebody else.
Lance, careful. I'll take the resale value down on that.
Johnny,
case.
drone buyer.
Johnny's gonna buy it.
Finally made it.
Uh,
Hey TJ, I got this to review, so you like this drone.
Heck yeah.
oh, look at that. It's got a way bigger controller, too.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. It actually flies really good. Looks like a little SEMA type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need me one of those. I need something to fly around in here when I'm sitting around.
Yeah, they sent me this when I got back from Florida. It was in my mailbox. So
Can you fly that one? Can you fly that one outdoors or no?
yeah, you can absolutely.
Oh, huh.
Long as your wind is like
As
1
long as
mile
there's
an
no
hour.
wind, yeah.
You what?
1 mile an hour wind.
You have to
Right
watch
now.
it. If
No, this is a lot stronger than that little thing TJ got.
That one looks a little bigger though.
Yeah.
Well, the main reason why you wouldn't want to fly the one you have outside TJ2 is because it's probably off of infrared and the sun will
Yeah.
screw with that. Like if you're outside
Yeah,
and
I
your
did-
controller's using infrared, the sun will actually screw with it.
Yeah, I tried to fly it outside when I was at work one day, and I was like, probably not a good idea. Like I was flying it, and then like I was having a hard time bringing it back. I was like, well, I'm just gonna land it and then go pick it up.
We talk about Paul, but John is eating the
No.
breakfast of champions right now. Animal crackers.
Yeah.
Animal
Boy,
crackers.
Johnny, you show 'em.
The elephants actually help with strength. Make sure you eat it only the elephants.
The
the
elephants
giraffes
help
I
help
with-
goes to
with
Sam's
eyesight.
all the time.
Wait, Justin. The elephants help with what?
The elephants help with strength, and the giraffes are good for eyesight.
Oh.
It's the vitamins.
I buy the animal crackers too, but I only buy the ones with lions in it because I'm a Marine.
They're getting little and little. If they be any little, they'll be like,
Yeah, his voice gets
Feel
less
like
deeper
goldfish.
every day.
Yeah, they get any smaller, they'll be, what's it? Rice
Yeah.
Krispies.
Where's the duck? Where's the duck?
It's behind you.
San
A whole
Diego
bunch of
State
ducks.
University.
Oh, that's awesome, Randy.
Oh, that's
yeah.
South Dakota State?
Yeah.
No, San Diego State, baby. The
Oh,
Aztec.
okay.
What's their Slay the Aztec? That's their That's what they cheer when they go to games.
So Lance, you got the Avata too?
Friday, baby, Friday.
Oh,
Yeah, in fact, I may call Best Buy this morning and see if they have any in stock.
I need to get a return label for this one so I can send this one back.
Yeah, Lance, remember
Send
last
it
time
my
you
way.
ordered a drone online?
I'll take it.
Hey, John, I'm gonna bring you one of these.
Hey,
Oh, yeah.
Johnny, hey, let's do this, Johnny. You send me the Avata 2. I'll send you my Avata 1. Okay.
Plus.
Now, my biggest question, Johnny, are you going to go out and you're going to show Joe how to properly fly his Avata?
Plus a packet of animal crackers.
Joe, hey, Joe's been flying before me now. He's an expert on that Avata too.
Rod's trying to get me going at 50 miles an hour. Like
I'm bringing this. I'm gonna bring this and take down that Avata too.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
They're gonna fly through the tugboat today.
No, we're not going to the tugboat.
No.
You sis, come on.
Hey, Johnny, I'm on 12 flights with the Avata 2.
12? I got like maybe 1.5.
Yeah, 12 flights, 47 minutes.
Oh wow, that thing is used. I would sell it. Sell it to TJ.
Yeah.
TJ, $200.
$200. You're gonna hear a weird. So I bought my Avata 1. I bought my Avata 1 at Best Buy, April 20th, 2023. I bought my Avata 2, and it'll be here on April 19th, 2024. So about a year later, I get the new drone.
Yeah, I tell you, it's a lot of people ordered the Avata 2. It's amazing, like in the community. I mean, I would say, usually you got like 8 to 10 people might buy the new drone coming out, but now it's probably like 50 or 60 in the community,
I think one of the biggest reasons for that too is the price is like way cheaper than the first one.
Yeah, about 400 cheaper.
Yeah. Because I remember when David bought the first one, AZ, it was almost $2,200 with everything. Like the bag, the ND filters. He bought every accessory that they had for it. And it came out to like $2,200.
Weren't Best Buy the ones that said if you took it back within a year or something, they'd give you your money back?
Oh, there you go. I'll do that.
Yeah, but I don't know. But I don't see how Best Buy's even still around with the shit that they do sometimes. I don't even know how
they're still here.
Yeah, but Amazon's moving a billion stuff for every million that Best Buy's moving.
But they're still losing a lot, I guarantee.
So I said you gotta lose money to make money, though. Walmart and Amazon are great at doing that. They'll lose $1 billion, but in turn they'll make 10 billion.
Yeah. Well, I was the one that didn't want to go FPV at all. I had no ambition to go FPV. I bought the Avata. What didn't I buy it? See, the first Avata.
And then this is what he'll be saying in like 6 months when he goes acro. I never intended to go acro, but Johnny pushed me into acro.
April 28th, 23 is when I purchased the first one. And I got 111 flights on it.
So I think there was about 6 or 7 of us that bought it right there at the end of April. I think Ron Brown, I think Johnny, Marcus Crawford. We all bought it within about 2 weeks of each other.
Like TJ's hearing about the new Avata, looking at the Potenza, your piece of crap.
he's gonna get off in a minute.
I bought this thing.
He's gonna mute his mic and smash it.
Do it live on the Paul Murray show. Yeah.
Well, it's got a lot in common with the Avata too.
No,
it's got that little button that makes it do rolls.
Hey TJ, I'll bring the Tello over and we'll do some racing.
All right.
Yeah, hey, Randy. Yeah, it does. The Easy Acro does seem real robotic, but hey, for those of us that are never going to fly with sticks,
there you go.
It's going to be a fun feature for me anyway.
I mean it.
I have one going up. Let me see if it's going up later today. I think at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock today. I have a video going up. It's about 4 minutes long, and I called it Flippity Dippity. At Fontainebleau State Park, Flippity Dippity. And all I did was run through it. That's the one I did. I was telling Mark about. All I did was do the different flips and rolls, and then I put right before it happens, it labels it and tells you what it is, and it's all in Easy Acro. And I tell you what, I found out if you now the slide, I did the slide one time, because they got slide and they got the 180 and they got the flips. I did the slide one time, and I know where I did it at, but I can't see any difference in the drone. I couldn't see any difference in where it was. It almost looked like I made a turn. So I just didn't even label that one, so because I couldn't figure it out.
You know, actually, please. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, but but I found out this is the big thing. If you want to make it look smooth, keep your hand on the throttle, hit the thing, and just keep your hand on the throttle. And it'll do the flip, do the roll, do the slide, whatever it's going to be, and it's going to go right back into where you were. So it's going to make it a lot smoother.
You know, I'm surprised. These would actually be really good drones for police departments right here, because they have a decent range, and this would be good for going in through a window. A tele.
Oh, that's a tele.
I'm saying this would be good for going through a window and actually peeking into a house, because they're small, and they have a 720 camera on the front of them, and it takes pretty decent video for what it is. I mean, the video is a little jello-y, just slightly. It's not too bad, but for what it is, though, it's got good fucking video on it. You can do a live feed on it and just go right into a window with it.
And you need your phone or a tablet for that, right?
Yeah, but you can fly with the phone. You don't have to have a controller. And it actually is not bad flying on the phone. Like, normally I don't like doing shit on the phone like that, where you have to use the phone as a controller, but it's very responsive. It actually works really good.
How far will it go before it loses signal or whatever?
I mean, I've gone
20 feet, 6 inches.
I've gone a good, have never gone more than 50, 60 feet, but I've never lost signal.
Oh.
I'm saying for a police department, that'd actually be really good for going in a window, though. They bust out a window and they're just fly it right through the window. You'd be able to see everything, and it's not an expensive drone to lose.
Yeah.
But the great thing about these is if you learn how to code, you can actually code these. A lot of schools use these to teach kids how to do coding.
What is that coding? Like, what is that?
Where you can like program the drone to do what you want it to do. This actually has an Intel processor in it. Has a chip, Intel processing chip in it. A lot of STEM programs use them for kids to teach them how to do stuff, like do coding and stuff like that.
So I'm thinking about making a short today. I'm gonna put the duck on top of the Vata 2. I've got the Velcro all set up for it. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up the camera, and I'm gonna do the flips, different flips, to talk about Easy Acro with the duck on it.
Joe, you need to get up with Mike and get the little balls print. He's got the plate for it and everything, so you can 3M it to the bottom of your drone, and then you just hook it on, and it's a little set of balls.
Well, next time he's on, tell him to send it to him.
What is that? What is that? FPV? 360 flips, rolls. Yeah, it's kind of like a bigger version of like what TJ's
bigger
got.
version.
So this is what I use in my program, in my drone class. Kids fly this.
Alias?
And it's a pain. I mean, it's like.
Do you guys have a robotics class in your school? Like my son's school does?
Not in my school, but there are some in my school district. I have that one drone class that I teach.
I was gonna say, because the robotics classes, if you guys have one, I would recommend them get some Telos and play around with those.
Yeah, for sure.
Because my son's high school has one. They have
a lot of middle schools have it, and then some high schools have it, but we do not.
Yeah, my son's high school actually has a beginners and an advanced robotics class, and he actually got to go right into advanced in 9th grade as soon as he hit high school. But let me see here. Let me message Mike. I'll see if he has that print. I think that'd be hilarious.
Yeah, I think it's gonna look good though. If you put that on top of the drone, and then you do the rolls and you have it right there in front of you to do it. I think it would be a good short.
Let me
Okay,
share
so-
my screen here with you guys. Show you the castle. Right here. There. You guys see that?
Oh, that's cool.
So that's the high school that sits right on the bluff of Commencement Bay in Tacoma. And
Shoot, I feel like I'm going to Hogwarts.
I know, right?
and that's about, there we go. Now I'm zooming out, but there's the ship there, Paul. What do I got?
Rob?
I must be at work. He said, I don't have it on me right now. So whenever you get a chance.
Is that
But
a dock it's sitting at, Lance?
Say that one more time, Paul.
The ship, is it at a dock?
Yeah, it's being filled with wheat or grain.
That's a grain elevator.
Yeah, you can see, right here, the elevator. And last year, I did not see a ship after February 29th. So from February 29th until about December, no ships came in. This year, it's April, and they're still coming. So they must have had a better run of wheat in Eastern Washington or something. I don't know.
Now, aren't the grain silos the ones that have collapsed so that they can actually start a fire from all the friction?
Yeah.
I saw one on YouTube that did that. It actually collapsed. All of a sudden, this big ass ball of flame just came out of the grain. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, that dust is highly flammable. Yeah, all along the Mississippi River, a little bit north of us, it's just littered along the side, all along it. You see nothing but grain elevators, nothing but ships docked filling up.
And then you get those dumbasses that jump in the top of them, and then
well, if you jump in it, you're dead.
Oh yeah.
If you fall in it, they can't get you out. They'll get you out eventually, but you're gonna suffocate.
Yep.
You fall in it, you're done.
See all the seagulls, TJ? Look at all those seagulls.
Millions of them.
Come on, play. So this is like a car transporter or something. Is there? Yeah, there's a couple cars up there. Is that a car?
It looks like a little ferry. I'm like a little.
Can't say that word anymore. Yeah, it's a little bit of one. That's Elon Musk's private.
Pretty cool shot.
Oh, that was a flotation device on the back. I was like, it kind of looks like a firefighter emblem. But it's just one of those flotation rings.
Yep. It looks like you could put a car up in there.
Yeah, and that looks like a ramp right there, that comes down to bring the cars on.
Goes down into the water.
Or to let these things go. Those look like maybe submarines or something. I don't know what little underwater drones.
They're mining the harbor. The channel right there.
I bet Curtis Dart would know what this is. And here's the lighthouse that I normally shoot right over here. And I live over this hill.
It's dark out there.
Yeah, it looks like a tornado's about to form.
Nah.
We're in Washington, TJ.
Huh?
We're in
Yeah,
Washington.
it's always cloudy in Washington.
There's no tornadoes here, and it always looks like this. It's always gray.
Yeah,
Don't
like
move up
England.
here. Seattle sucks.
They're like England. It's always rainy and cloudy. What you doing today, TJ?
Just fucking around right now. I don't know. I might go out and go flying sometime. I don't know. We'll see.
You got the day off?
Yeah, I'm going with my mom and Uncle Ray and his wife. We're going to Flanagan's for lunch. Probably around like 3
Shenanigans?
o'clock. Yeah, Flanagan's. Yeah.
No, I said shenanigans.
Oh, shenanigans.
So the next person says shenanigans, I'm gonna pistol whip them.
We have a shenanigans here.
I'm so tired of your
It's on this waterway. Actually, the restaurant shenanigans.
That almost looks like a where that boat is, the on that canopy or whatever. It looks like a place where you like.
Hey, look! It looks like a boat on a canopy.
Yeah, well, no, it looks like a place where you could watch a concert or something.
Okay.
It protects the grain from the rain.
Yeah, I'm
Hey,
here.
DJ,
I'm here because Justin called me out.
DJ, did you
What are you talking
get your
about?
did you get your car thing settled or what?
Oh yeah. I got a new car on Saturday. I got a Kia Forte. Pretty
What
nice.
am I on about, Justin? You said it's just like England.
Oh
Rain-
yeah.
Rainy
Rain.
and cloudy.
Yep.
No.
No sun.
Pure blue sunshine out there.
Yeah, we did when I went
Right.
out for a cup of tea and a cigarette. And now it's raining.
Washington's
But-
always been known for having weather like that.
But you've got to remember, it's not English weather, British. Right? You have to include Scotland and Wales
And
because
Ireland.
no, we don't have to include them because they're part of the United Kingdom. They're not part of Britain. It's British weather, and it's because of Ireland that Manchester and that get a lot of rain.
Part of Ireland is British.
Same
Now,
thing we say about California. It's part of America, but not part of the United States.
now you've got to understand the differences. You have England, Scotland, Northern Ireland, Southern Ireland, and Wales, and also the Isle of Man. Right,
Isle of Wight,
the Isle of Man.
Channel Islands,
Right, no, you're going too far because the Isle of Wight is
Faroe
part of
Islands.
England. It's still part of England, right? The Isle of Man is its own self-governing country, protected by the UK military. Right. Southern Ireland is its own country. We will come back to Northern Ireland in a minute. Because if you've got England, Scotland, and Wales, they form the British Isles. Right? Because it's Britain with all its little islands. When you add Northern Ireland, it becomes the United Kingdom and Northern Ireland.
Good morning, Randy.
And the flag does not
Morning,
contain
Paul.
the Welsh, which is unusual.
Well, they class it as the Republic
Randy,
of
what's up?
Ireland rather
Up,
than
Randy?
Northern
Joe,
Ireland.
TJ, Lance.
Yo, what up, Randy?
What's
up, buddy?
So David, what I get out of this is what you're saying is that your weather sucks.
Weather may suck, yeah, but it's not because it's English, because it's British.
What you got there, Lance?
So Randy, it's my Mavic 3. So Randy, in the drift mode, let me take this off here. In the drift mode, I wonder how much. So when you do that and you hit the button and all of a sudden it turns around and goes this way,
That's
I
the
wonder
180.
how much it drifts. When it does that.
I was watching Dustin Dunhill's video, and he was hitting that button like right in between two tree branches, and it was spinning like and going immediately reverse.
So you don't think it went sideways at all?
I don't think it did.
You think it just went?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that'll be
same
cool. I'm
thing.
going to try that. The gap, shooting the
Yeah,
gap.
I did it yesterday and it didn't drift at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's a good
Now
button
that-
if you're heading towards a
that-
wall.
Yeah, that other spot, that top one, it says slide. I did that one and I said, I didn't see what it did. I couldn't tell what it did.
I think it's supposed to go side to side, I think, Joe.
Well, I went back and looked at the video and right after that I made it, I couldn't even tell.
Yeah.
I'll try it again today. 'Cause I'm going out there and fly with John and we'll figure it out. But the rumor is they're gonna do a firmware pretty soon. It's gonna give a couple more. Might get a couple more things.
What else could they do? Maybe a loop-de-loop?
I don't know.
Yeah, cool.
But the key to it, like I said, the key to make it look smooth is hold that throttle down and make sure that when you hit the button, don't change your throttle. And it'll flip right back into it. Because I was under oak trees the other day and I was flipping it on the oak trees. And I wanted to, and I didn't have a lot of room under there. And it handled it. But you got to be I've been glancing at the altitude because it changes colors when it allows you to do it. It'll get like either orange or yellow. I think it's more like a yellow, more like this color right here, this yellow. And it'll come up and you'll see it, and then you can flip it. But if you're underneath it, it stays dark. It won't let you see it. And I think it's 6 foot. Is what I've been looking at. Every time I glance over there, I'm moving up. So it's around 5 to 6 foot. You have to be off the ground or it's not going to allow you to flip or do the rolls or anything.
Yeah, it'd be nice when they let you do that in sport mode too.
Yeah, I heard they're going to let you do that. I heard they
Because
might be working on that.
that 180 spin, I mean, I've been flying acro for a while. That's hard to do to spin around and keep it completely flat and then keep going backwards. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's the other thing I had to figure. I think you had asked me that, Lance. Does it keep going backwards? And I said, I'm not. I said, no, I think you got to stop it to go forward again. So when I did it yesterday, I made sure I had a big wide open field. And I turned on a tree and the thing is going backwards and I'm still going backwards. And I had trees behind me, but I was a good 80 yards away from them. So it gave me some leverage. And then I stopped, hit it again, and it started going forward.
Yeah, I'm
you
looking
gotta make
forward
sure
to
you're not in a tight space.
Apparently, one of the new acro features is going to be fly wildly out of control and crash into a pole.
There you go.
And then whenever you do that, you can just blame it on pressing the wrong button.
Well,
I've
Johnny
never
does
used
that already.
I've never used a motion controller, so I'm actually looking forward to trying that out and seeing how it
I
works.
don't know. I think like the sticks are better than the motion controller because you don't really have much control really with the motion controller, right?
No, I think you got
A
more
lot more,
control.
apparently.
I think you
I
got
don't
more
know.
control with the motion controller.
Rod whips that thing pretty good with the motion controller.
Well, that
Yeah.
last video he did, I tell you
Yeah.
what, he hats off to him. That was pretty good with the motion controller.
Oh, with the video that Rod put out.
Yeah, the one he just put out where he's about 16 minutes long, and he's just whipping around all the houses, going through palm branches. Everything.
People's yards, through their bushes, all kinds of stuff. It was pretty cool.
Yeah,
went
he
through
sent
the
me
palm
a-
branch,
he
and
sent
he
me
just
a-
went right
he
through
sent
it.
me a- He sent me a video of him flying the Avata 1, and he had hit the palm fronds because he had stopped and then went around him and then kept on going. Like he's
tell
trying
you-
to get me to go. He's trying to get me to go like faster.
I'm looking forward to it not being as loud. I think that's going to be my favorite feature.
Oh, the Avata
Yeah.
2, like it's not as
Yeah.
loud.
Yeah, because
Oh.
that first one, like if you go to a park and go to fly around, I mean, everybody's looking like, what the hell is coming?
Yeah.
I agree with you, Randy.
I had it about maybe 100 yards from me yesterday, and I could barely hear it.
That's awesome. Yeah, because the DJI FPV drone, it's like 3 times as fast and it's still half as quiet.
Yeah, and
I was
I whipped it right by
flying
my
this
head.
thing, and this thing's pretty quiet too when you're flying around indoors.
No, Joe,
Yeah.
Joe, are you sure it's just not your hearing getting worse with the old age?
I got the duck in my hand. The duck's in my hand. But I whipped it right by my head yesterday, and it's not like a bullet going by like the other one. And I know what that sounds like. A bullet going
The
by.
Avada
Yeah.
one, it has that
Yeah.
whistle. It's like a whistling sound
Like a
with
howling banshee.
yeah.
Yeah, it sounds
That
like a
thing
bunch
is
of bees. It sounds like a bunch of bees are just going around.
bunch of
Yeah,
bees
it's
with
funny.
turbochargers on them.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
funny you say that because I was out there. They had
Well,
these old folks
superchargers,
fishing.
they
They had
whistle,
these old
don't
folks fishing. I was flying the Avada, and I'm flying it around, and I was shoot about 300 yards from them, but I was buzzing around in back of them and everything like this, and I wasn't close to them. I was within maybe about 50 yards of them. And I went back over and I started talking to them, asking them if they were doing any fishing. The woman looked over there and she says, "Yeah." She goes, "We were about to leave because we kept hearing all these bees and we didn't know where they were coming from."
they?
Like, no, that was just me flying my drone.
Yeah, I think that's a crazy one.
So,
But let me
TJ,
tell you
when
another
you fly
thing.
it,
Go ahead.
yeah,
ahead.
when you fly it, do you start singing, "I'm a bumblebee"?
No.
Sometimes in my head, yeah, not out loud, it's just in my head.
TJ will do it. TJ will.
Uh,
But let me tell you about the difference between
Oh, Arthur asked
the original Avada when it's flying. I haven't had a bird even look at it too much because of the noise, I guess. And I was the second flight with the new one. I was out at the point when I came around the trees, every swallow that was in those trees came out and started flying with it. And when I looked at it, I looked at the video and that it looks like a swallow the way they fly. So they thought it was another buddy or something. They jumped down with it.
Better hope they don't try to mate with it.
And that's what I was thinking. It won't mate for long if they hit the wrong fella.
No doubt.
yeah, when I was seeing pictures on the internet or like on Facebook, the original Avada was sitting on top of the Avada 2, and the Avada 2 looked slightly bigger than the first one.
Not much. It is not much.
No,
And it's a lot lighter.
I think it's
yours comes tomorrow, right, Randy?
Wider.
No, it'll be here today. It said today by 7 o'clock.
The same length, almost an
Origin-
inch wider and about an inch flatter.
It was originally due to be here tomorrow, TJ, but then it updated this morning and it says today. It's out for delivery.
Oh, nice. Oh yeah.
That's
You get it off Amazon or where'd you order it?
I've only ever ordered from DJI.
Oh, gotcha.
I figure you might as well get a little bit of credit if you're, I'll wait a couple days and just get it straight from DJI.
Nice.
Look, TJ, the batteries are charged.
Nice.
Did you take out Carry Fresh, Randy?
I haven't I didn't purchase Carry Fresh when I got it, but I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I got the Carry Fresh for the Air 3 because I fly over water. In my opinion, Carry Fresh is only good for flyaways. If you like totally lose it and got to buy a new one, then it might come in handy. But just for like accidents and repairs, it's probably cheaper just to go with the service.
You still actually got to pay quite a hefty proportion of it when you've got a flyaway.
Yeah, it comes down to like you're getting like $100 off, and that's if you lose it.
Yeah.
So if you don't lose it, you're losing all that money. So I don't know. I'm probably not going to get it, but I don't know. It's only $99, so I don't know. I'm thinking about it.
I mean, I know I had to replace my Mini 3 under Carry Fresh.
Just do like Joe does and go get a State Farm client policy out on him.
Yeah,
So it's super cheap.
You know who you should call is
Ghostbusters.
Al Shercione. His daughter works for State Farm.
Yeah,
How
she'll
much-
write it.
How much does that cost every month? Like, what's the premium for that
It cost me $60 for the year.
for the year?
And the
Yeah,
thing
for the
is
year,
like
and
$6 a month.
I'm going to
$6
check mine
a
right
month.
now because you better put it on.
I can do the math.
Is there a
Say you-
deductible?
I think it does
No.
all of his drones as well, not just the one.
And the thing is, Randy, is if you pay $1,300, say now for a drone, and in a year and a half you crash it, and the drones are only worth $800 at that time, You still get your full 1,300 back.
Yep.
Okay.
And you don't have to have proof that the drone flew away. Like if it flies away, you don't have to have the drone and say, look, it wrecked. You just tell them it wrecked and put a claim in. They don't actually, and that's the thing is like, even though you might lose the drone, but you still have the goggles, the controller, the other 2 batteries, all that, they're going to give you your full 1,300 back. And then you can go buy a replacement drone and still have some cash left over.
So I'm sorry, I lost you for a second. How do you get the whole 1,300 back?
If you just lose the drone or if it wrecks or crashes.
I think Joe Fotoleo, he lost his, and they only paid for the actual replacement of the drone, I think.
I'm going by what Joe told me. He said that they give him the full.
Yeah, the last one, I think he got the full price on the last one too.
Did he?
Is that a gazing ball, Lance?
So this is a photography ball, I call it. You know, so it flips everything upside down. So I have my kids shoot with this every once in a while, and they like it because it reverses everything, and they've got to focus on the ball, and everything else is out of focus back here. So they like that. We're gonna shoot this today. I just pulled one of mine out.
Looks like one of those balls that people like do like this with their
Yeah, no, it's just it's not a photography. I don't know what they call them.
Do that motion again, TJ.
I got a smaller one.
Well, the human eye sees everything upside down, and your brain flips it back the right way.
Yep, that's what they do, and that's what they learn in Photoshop. So I have them take it like this. I have them reverse it, and everything's right side up. You know.
Wait, so how does that work in Australia? So do they see everything upside down then? Is it opposite for them?
No, for them it's right side up, and then they turn it upside down.
Christy, what's up, Christy?
He's down when you need him.
What's up, Gitchy?
Gitchy.
Gitchy.
So, like, do you put that in the camera, or do you just like point the camera at the ball when it's sitting down or something?
Yeah, so you hold it, and and someone holds it, and then they take a picture of it, right? And it's upside down because when you look through that, everything's reversed.
Yeah.
The glass, and then in post you flip it. So you take it into Photoshop and you just do a horizontal or a vertical flip, and then it's right side up. Oh, I'm getting a call.
It's like we don't have much of any rain this week.
Oh, good for you.
Okay, I've got a couple of class guys.
Oh, good for you.
So I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, Lance.
See you later,
Lance.
So Bumblebee, are you working today?
No, I'm off. Thank God.
Oh, that's right. You're going to lunch.
Yeah.
TJ's gonna go get some chicken tendies off the kids menu.
We're going to Shenanigans.
So what are you gonna have? Chicken tenders?
Yeah, I'll probably get a sandwich or something. It's been a while since I've been to this place, but I hear they had last time I went, we had garlic rolls, and their garlic rolls are amazing.
So you've gotten used to ordering.
Not exactly lunch, is it? Garlic rolls.
Yeah, it's good.
You've gotten used to ordering off the kids' menu?
Yeah.
He said you're going there talking about I want some chicken nuggies.
Chicken nuggies.
Nuggies, yeah.
Some nuggies.
TJ's gonna be in there doing the crowns and little mazes. Bullshit.
Yeah. Like, oh, I made it.
Sorry about that, guys.
Toast.
That's
Cruella
right.
DeVille just got home.
Apology not accepted.
Speculators.
All right, David.
No, Randy, State Farm, what they told me, because I asked the guy, I said, what happens if I'm flying it over Lake Pontchartrain and the bird takes it out and it winds up 8 miles out in the lake, like that, and I can't get to it? He said, doesn't matter. All you got to do is tell me.
Yeah, I might have to look into that. $60 for the year, that's not bad.
$60 a year. I've got the Mavic 3, the Air 2S, And I told her just to add, I said, how much is it to add the new Avata? I gave her the receipt. And the receipt I gave her has the everything on it, like $1,500 with the tax and everything. And she says, no problem. You still have room on the policy because it's like a max limit on the $60.
Okay.
Now, I just checked and it's not updated yet. But she said it's good.
Is there an age limit on that, like for the life of the drone?
I think it's for the life of the drone. I don't think it depreciates either.
Okay.
That's the thing, because I don't think it depreciates either.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just, I've had it now. This is my second year with the policy. Now, when I bought, what was it? The two Avatas, original Avatas, I went ahead and put Carry Fresh on for those.
Yeah, I'm not big on the care. The insurance sounds pretty cool, but I'm not big on the Care Refresh plans. I think they're not worth it, because especially if you don't really have that many crashes. I mean, if you're gonna go out there and rip it, I mean, it might be worth it, but
well, it depends on what drone it is too. If you have a Mavic 3, you might want to have something on it.
Yeah,
that's why that's why I did that with State Farm.
It could be $400 or $500 to get a replacement versus you spending another $3,000 getting a replacement. You know,
but I think it's like 20% of the drone, I think.
Yeah,
but you still for the Care Refresh for the Mavic 3 is like $250, I think, something like that.
Yeah, but the FPV, I think the FPV percentages per price are higher. Because I know on the original DJI FPV, they did percentage to price on the Care Refresh, and it was actually like 20% higher than your normal camera drone. I don't know if that's the same with the Avatas, but I remember them talking about that back when the first one came out. Because they were expecting people to crash them, so they were like, "Oh, we can charge them a little bit more."
I got the refresh. I got it for my Air 2, and then when I got the DJI FPV, I didn't get it for that, and I never needed it, so it turned out pretty good on that one. And I did get it for my Air 3, and I did not get it for the Avata 1.
How much did you end up getting for your DJI and your Avata? You said you sold on. Didn't you say you sold on eBay?
Yeah, I got $900 for it.
For both a package deal, or?
Yeah, for the Avata, the FPV, and the Integra goggles. It's a pretty good deal, in my opinion.
I mean, if you're going to sell the Avatas, you better jump on it now, because they're going to get flooded here in the next week or two.
Yeah,
eBay's going to be flooded with them.
And my Avata is less than a year old, and the Integras, they were barely 6 months old.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll still be able to get rid of them on eBay probably fairly quickly, but it could drive the price down on them.
Dude, I'm telling you, I listed it,
put on there,
and it was literally 30 minutes later, I got a notification, and it was sold. So I'm kind of kicking myself in the ass for not asking more, but
oh, you didn't do a auction, you just did a buy it now?
Yeah.
What, that was the original Avata?
The original Avata with 3 batteries, the DJI FPV with 3 batteries, and the Integra goggles.
What'd you get for it?
$900.
It's not bad.
That's not too bad, I guess.
I think it was fair. It was fair.
But how much did eBay get for it?
It was like $100. So I got like 800.
Oh, you didn't have to pay any PayPal fees?
No. I got my bank account tied right to eBay, so it put it right in my bank account.
Yeah, I got mine tied directly to it too now. Forgot about that.
Yeah, because if you use PayPal, they charge you a fee.
Yeah, they stopped doing PayPal for the money you receive now.
Okay. Yeah, because people were paying a fee to eBay plus PayPal.
But it took a nice chunk off the Avata too. And I haven't flown the FPV, the DJI FPV. It's been probably 6-7 months since I've flown it. So
Yeah,
I mean,
been a while since I've flown mine. I need to.
I still got my 5-inch carbon quad. So anytime I want to fly FPV, I go to that anyway. The DJI FPV was nice for like going out over water, but like I said, I haven't really flown it much, and it was just sitting around. And I'm not a drone collector, so I sold them.
Yeah, I'm looking at. I just typed in Avata on Marketplace, and the other day it was only like 3. Now there's like 15.
Like I don't
everybody's
know,
getting
man.
it.
Like I want to get another drone, but at the same time I don't. But like I was watching and listening to Tammy Jean's stream the other night, and everybody's getting the latest drone. But at the same time, it's like, man, just fly what you have. Don't worry about like somebody else getting, or like worrying about wanting to get the newest and latest drone. Just fly what you have.
Yeah, I agree with you, TJ, 100%. The main reason I upgraded was for the sound, and I like to fly the Avata. The Avata, it's pretty much ridiculous trying to fly it in acro, because you can do flips and stuff, but if you try to do anything like aggressive, it'll kick you into normal mode, and it's not fun. So I wanted something quieter, something with a better camera, and the batteries and the whole setup of the batteries matches the Air 3, and it's all on 04, and I already got the Air 3, so
you could put an Air 3 battery inside in the new Avata?
No, I'm just saying the form of it. It's got the charging hub, and then they're kind of designed similar, so it just goes together.
Paul, you not going to catch that ship or what?
No. No, there's the ships are moving quite a bit right now, and
Yeah, I've got mine set up out there with the motion, the sticks, and I got the two. It's got 4 batteries, 2 Avatas. I'm trying to sell it as a complete kit. Both have carry refresh, and I've had a lot of bites on it, but they want to cut me down. So I'm actually thinking about taking 2 of the batteries out of it, 1 of the Avatas, and maybe keeping the motion controller, and just selling the sticks, the goggles, and 1 of the 2 batteries, and then cutting the price down to about $900.
What do you have it listed at now?
Well, I got it listed. I stuck it out there at 2,000. Told them, let me know what you want. Well, give me
Joe,
offer,
if you just send it to me, I won't charge you a fee.
yeah, there you go.
Okay. because when you look at it, based on the $600 worth of batteries, another $800 worth of drones,
Yeah.
and you got another 400. I mean, with the goggles, the motion controller, and the sticks, it listed out when I priced it out was about $2,600, $2,400.
Yeah.
So I put
Somebody
2,000. I figured somebody might say, "I'll give you 1,500 for it or 1,800 for it."
Yeah. Leave it up there. Somebody buy it eventually.
You already put.
Well, I'm not in a hurry. It's been up there. I had one guy say, "I'll buy one of the drones from you for 300." I said, "No." No.
Yeah.
Yeah, Johnny's got his brand new Avata up there for 400.
Now, how much is the drone if you buy it brand new?
The
just
Avata?
the drone by itself, just
500, I think.
Like 5 something.
And the guy wanted to give you 300.
Yeah.
Well, you should have took it. That's not bad.
Nah.
I would have said at least. I would have negotiated. I would have at least said 350. I mean, for 100, that's 150 off a new one. That's not bad.
Yeah, but you see, this is the deal. One of them's got 111 flights on it. One of them's got 8 flights. If I'm gonna keep it, I'm gonna keep the 8 flight one.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He don't know which one you're giving him, so give him the 111 flight one for 350. That would have been a good deal.
Yeah, it might have been.
Because the thing is the longer you wait, the less they're gonna end up dropping in price, and more of those things that go on the market.
It's $629 for the DJI Avata No RC, and the Avata 2 is only $489. So it's for the drone only. It's definitely cheaper than the Avata 1.
Now, what's funny
the Avata 2 is only like $500.
Yeah,
just the drone.
Not bad.
Just the drone,
just
that
for
with
the
a battery?
drone, but like if you're getting, it's going to cost more if you're getting like the.
Usually, when you buy just the drone,
it comes with one battery.
You see, that's a good deal.
But this is what's funny, right? Is usually if you look at DJI's past history, whenever they came out with a new drone, it was always a couple $100 more expensive than the previous one. But this one is almost half the cost of the previous one. Now, are they going to drop the Avata 1 price way down? Because who the fuck's going to want to buy an Avata 1?
Well, it's not half the cost. I think it works out at $200 cheaper for the full package, doesn't it, or something?
No, it's $1,200 for the Avata 2 with the full package. When David bought the Avata 1 with everything, it was like $2,200.
When it first came out, it was like I think it was like 1,300 for the goggles too, the Vada and the motion controller.
Yeah, but that didn't include the sticks, the fly more kit, the
No.
bag. They even sold the bag separately, the ND filters.
Yeah, I like how they included the Flymore kit with the package, so you ain't got to buy no extra batteries. I just wish they would have put the RC in there.
But that's what I'm saying. When the first one, when you went out and bought everything that came with it, it came out to over $2,000.
Yeah.
So how they expect to? They have to lower that thing way down, almost half, because who the hell's going to go out and buy an Avata 1 for $2,000 when they could get a Avata 2 for $1,200?
Well, it depends on what they want, you know, because like I know my price, but it's also got the hard case. I got the hard case in it and everything. So it was giving them the whole setup, all extra master air screw propellers, everything.
And like David just messaged me, same everything I bought for the Avata 2 was $1,500 versus when he bought the Avata 1, it was $2,200.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying is they got to take that Avata 1 price and they need to drop it way the hell down to like under $1,000 because they're not going to sell anymore. Like I said, why would you buy an older version? Why would you buy an older version for $600-700 more? You know, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I need to add a little more listing to this. I need to say it's got dust caps on it, it's got the gimbal guards on it, it's got the battery holder, you know, and all of this that's on it. So I added a lot of accessories to it, you know.
That's what I'm curious about is and that's the thing.
I think I'm gonna break it down to sell just one.
And that's the thing is if DJI drops the price of the Avata one way down, then whatever you guys have still currently in your inventory, you're going to end up losing a shit ton of money on it because nobody's going to want to pay you close to what you paid for it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't see how they can keep that original one at a higher price. I don't see that working. I think that's stupid.
It'll come down.
It's going to have to come way down. That's what I'm saying. It's going to have to drop by like $700-800 for them to keep pushing them. Otherwise, nobody's going to want to buy it. But if you have an Avata 1 now, and then you go to sell it if they do that, you're going to be lucky to get $300-400 for it, because they're going to have to drop it down to like $1,000 to make it worth people wanting to buy it, and that's going to be fly more kit everything, which means that for a used one, it's going to drive the price way down. I would sell it now while you can, because it may be worth half of what it's worth now in 6 months.
Yeah, most of them on marketplace with basically one setup with a couple of batteries is going between 800 to 1,000. That's just with one, but that's only with like the motion control, you know?
Yeah, and think about it, now people are selling them for half of what they paid for the whole kit a year ago.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to be able to sell it for more than that, because then they're getting into the Avata 2 prices.
So I'm going to have to revisit that. Like I said, I'll probably break it down.
So I said that's something you got to think about too, is unfortunately you pay more for the first one than you did the second one. So you're probably going to lose money on it the longer you wait. Just saying. That's my opinion on it. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling that's what's going to end up happening.
Well, I look at it another way too. Like I said, I'm not against keeping it because of the fact that when my son comes in, he flies it a lot. Nick, he likes flying it. Like I told him the first time he flew it, if you go back and look at it, it's I can't remember, it's a couple of months back, he'll say how not to fly, son's first flight, how not to fly the Avata. He started out and it was going like this, where he was bringing it up and stopping it, bringing it up and stopping it. And I said, just give it some gas and real smooth on it and just play with it. And it was like me teaching him how to drive. I was about falling out I was
see
dying.
if he wants to buy one of them from you.
Yeah, he's in Alaska right now. Ain't worried about this.
Oh, no, I'm just saying, throw the idea in his head. Be like, hey, when you get back, I'll give you a good deal on that if you're still interested.
Yeah, I might ask him about it. But
then you'll have a guarantee.
In actually where he lives, he could fly. He got 150. He got 200-foot flight level over there.
Oh wait, hold on.
We got an airport near. but he was flying it, and I had to run out to the car, and it was under the gazebo. And I told him, I said, just fly it around, don't get close to anything, and just play out in the open with it till I get back. So I came back, and he said, well, it's telling me it's about to. I said, if it says return to home, press this button, and it just bring it back to you, right? And he said, okay. So I got back, and he said, and he hollered at me, he's starting to do it. I said, just press the button and bring it back to you. So he brought it back, and he landed it. Okay. He gets it up again, and he starts, and he takes, and when he got it up the second, now when I left, he got brave, and I didn't know it because I didn't see it. So he was flying it better. So I get in there, and I'm sitting under this little bit of gazebo area with him, and he takes off, and he goes around the tree, and he's going pretty smooth. Then and he's the kind of guy who'll say, how fast does it go? He wants it. He wants the speed. So he's got it in normal mode, full speed, going around the tree. Comes back, and he's whipping back towards the gazebo. And I said, you know, you're coming up to this gazebo, right? He says, yeah. Boom, right through past my head. You know,
No.
I like to crap on myself.
See, this was my point right here. So you say you got $1,900 for the Explorer kit or the combo, right?
And that don't have the sticks.
It don't have the sticks, so you're looking at another $150, $200.
Yeah.
Plus, if you get the DJI Care Refresh, by the time it's all said and done, you're paying about $2,200, $2,300.
Now, see, that comes with the goggles too, so that's going to make it more right there. The goggles too are more expensive than the Integras.
And you see what I've got out there right now is it's got 3 batteries. Mine's got 4 batteries. Got the sticks, got the hard case, and it's got another drone.
But at the same time, as like the goggles isn't what makes this kit not worth it. It's this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's older now. You got a new model coming out where you can get that, you know, this, where's it at?
This one, that
yeah,
bottom
like
one,
you can get like that right
829.
there for like 1,000. That's what I'm saying. They're gonna have to drop this down well under $1,000 for it to even be worth somebody buying.
Click on that one and see who's selling that. It looks like Adorama.
Who, this?
Yeah, click on that and see who's selling that one.
That's a ridiculous
like
price.
Adorama.
Well, that's the thing though, is this is what it cost when it first came out. If you wanted everything with it, if you wanted the ND filters, the bag, everything that came with it, it came out to about 22.
Who's selling it on the right?
It says
that don't even have
same day shipping.
That don't even have ND filters with that one.
No. See, I got brand new sets of camera butter. 3 brand new sets of camera butter ND filters.
But like I said, I'm going by like when David bought his from DJI, he bought everything that they had for it, like the full kit, ND filters, bag, all the batteries, sticks, everything. When it was all said and done, he paid a little over $2,200.
Yeah,
that's what I said. They're going to have to drop that price way down. But
I think
that's what I said.
Once the 2's out for a while, they should.
You muted.
Oh, shit. Okay, but what I'm saying is before they do that, you should try to get rid of your Avata ones if you want to get rid of them, because once that price goes down to like $1,000 for that whole kit, that means what you have is now going to be worth $500 or $600 used with everything, batteries, everything.
Yeah, the Avata ones is going to keep getting cheaper and cheaper.
I'm talking about it's going to be like Mini 2 prices is what you're going to be selling it for.
But Randy, the Avata one's fun to fly too.
It is. It is.
You know, that's why I'm saying I'm not above keeping it. And just when I'm out there and I don't care about it. Now, if I crash something, it'd be that, you know?
Yeah. And the Avata one is a lot easier. It's a lot stronger from what I've seen. If you watch Mads Tech, he broke it down, and the Avata 2 is like impossible to repair it. It doesn't have its own air unit like the Avata 1 did. And the motors, the wires, the ESC is like literally buried in the drone. You got to do heart surgery just to get to the ESC.
So what you're saying, get Care Refresh, or a good insurance policy that you can get paid.
Yeah, because you're not fixing that thing yourself.
So the Avata 2 is more stronger than the 1?
No, the Avata 2, he did some strength tests where he just flexed it, and he said it seemed like it was a lot less sturdy than the Avata 1. And the way the duct guards are built, it's like the whole body of the drone. There's no easy.
Now, it looks
So-
like it could be 8 screws. You might be able to take them all off and one replace it, but they're not showing replacement parts.
Well, when he took it
No.
apart, he had to like the arms that hold the motors. They're 2 pieces of plastic, and he had to get a plastic wedge in there and crack all those things apart just to get the shell off of it. Like, it was ridiculous.
Now DJI's got the
Okay, I'm leaving about
Explorer
10.
package on the original Avata. That's $829, but that's just the goggles, the motion control of the drone, I think, in what, 1 battery?
Okay, I gotta jump off. Johnny just said he's leaving. He told me I'm leaving at a 1:45. Now he's leaving. He's like my ex-wife.
Joe, you gonna let Johnny fly at NACRO?
Hell no. I'm not about to let John. I don't let him near my drone. When he comes over to the back of the car, close the thing.
Good idea.
I know better. So I'll see y'all later today.
All right, Joe.
All right, Joe.
See ya.
Have fun.
So if you add the Explorer pack with the Flymore combo, you're looking at about Avata 1 prices or Avata 2 prices at that point.
Justin, Laura said you're talking
Sticks.
too much.
Oh, if Laura wants to tell me to stop talking, she can come on the panel. Oh, that's right. She's got an iPhone.
Yeah, she upgraded to an iPhone like the rest
I'm
of
on
us.
my iPhone. It's giving you a beautiful look at my ceiling.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but
different
you're a little
Bismarck, you know
smarter
how to
than
use
Laura,
it.
though.
Laura just got it. So.
Oh yeah, that's true. She's only just got the iPhone, hasn't she?
Yeah, I'm gonna hop off myself, y'all. I'm getting tired, and I'm gonna go take a little nap.
Okay, Bumblebee.
Hold on,
Alright.
it's 10:30 in the morning. What do you mean you
All
gotta
right,
take
Yeah,
a
I
nap?
don't know, man. I don't know. My eyes are hurt.
He's
for
like,
some
man, I
reason.
got up at 9 o'clock. I'm tired. I'm gonna take
No,
a nap
no.
at
Actually,
10:30.
what it was
Now.
I actually have a headache, and I got up at like 6 o'clock this morning. I don't know why I get up so damn early when I don't have to. It's so weird and crazy. I don't know what the hell.
It's
Just a
called an
minute.
internal clock.
Just a
I
minute,
guess I just-
TJ. Someone's
I
got
just get
something to say.
uncomfortable and I just can't sleep through the night like I used to.
David wants
You
to
shut
say
up, Laura.
We'll see y'all later.
Stop
All right,
drinking
TJ.
so
You gotta
much
say goodbye to
coffee.
TJ.
Hi, TJ.
Laura says goodbye, TJ.
See,
Yeah,
Justin,
but
you said she wasn't clever, but she is. She always has a way.
Well, I mean, it's as easy as
Yeah,
going
she
to the
video
YouTube
called
chat and just
David.
pressing the link on her phone, you know. And she could come on here and say that face to face. Yeah.
It's not face to face, though. There's an ocean in the way.
I'm not just saying, I've got
Virtual.
strong enough to get on Zoom.
Right. I'll speak to you in a bit.
Oh, you're leaving me now, are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, hang up on her, please. With prejudice.
Kiss my arse, Justin.
I'll speak to you in a bit.
She told you to kiss off, Justin.
I was like Walter and his wife, innit? Did you hang up on me? Did it sound a bit like this? Click.
Laura didn't seem to be very up on her voice. Maybe I'm just reading it wrong, but she's been away with her mother now. This is the second day on a trip, so
What's up?
might be
Well,
kind of stressful.
We will leave it there.
What's up, Lisa?
Yeah, it's the middle of the afternoon. Hey, the sun's come back out again.
Give it a minute.
Yep. That's about
And it's
as long
gone.
as it'll take. Yeah.
So, when's the party today, David? Since you canceled it yesterday.
Well, I won't be live, that's for sure.
Oh, you're not going live today?
No, it's football's on.
Yeah, not till 8 o'clock.
Yeah, but if I go live at 6, I've got to get ready at 7 because I've got to do the team news. So
Team news. I didn't know that you were employed by Blackpool.
I'm not, and I would never will be.
Paul has found a bone that he likes to nibble on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it don't work, does it?
Well, ever since David said that
Well,
was his
yeah.
team, I just shake my head, you know. There are some fans though that talk really heavy smack about their favorite teams. So I
You're
just
only
kind of
playing Southampton.
I just kind of attribute David is just smacking his own team around. You know?
Wait, hold on. Is it Mark? What's your team? Manchester?
Yeah, Man United.
Yeah. Manchester City.
Man United.
There are two main teams in Manchester. And that's
Stockport and Oldham.
City. Yeah,
well, then who's got
Bury
the better
and
team,
Rochdale.
Manchester or David?
Well,
Liverpool.
Let's put it this way: Manchester City are top of the Premiership at the moment.
So they're better than Liverpool.
David's team are in the Championship, which is basically the division below.
Oh, so they're a second level. Okay.
Yeah.
But my team's been going a lot longer and has more history.
You know, David's steaming right now. He's bitches.
In fact, Manchester City are the current holders of the European Championship as well.
Not for long, though.
What do you mean, not for long?
Sounds like a challenge to me.
You've got to hand it back.
What are you flying here, Randy?
If we beat Real,
This is my 5-inch.
We beat Real on Wednesday night at
two,
home.
what was the
And they
two
showed
pink things going down?
What's the current score?
3-3.
Oh, that's the propellers that he's catching in the video.
Oh,
Yeah, I got pink props.
Because I was trying to figure out what the hell is that.
Yeah, because we're getting like every other frame, so it's.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we're seeing a clear picture. It's just jumpy.
Yeah, the pictures are clear.
It's doing the same thing on my end.
Yeah, see, wouldn't have wasted that money on the body. Could have got yourself a decent PC to run this video.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think it's going.
Why are you seeing the props? What the hell's going on there?
It's some FPVs you just do
FPVs.
because of the
It's
placement.
the
of
angle of the
cameras.
camera.
Yeah.
Hey,
And the
David,
style-
did you
the
see
style
what
of
Laura
the
put in
frame.
the chat?
And some
No.
people like that in their videos.
On
What's she put now?
On an X frame, the front motors are further forward than they are in a dead cat.
Laura says, David, go live at 4 or 5. I can change my phone and go for a walk.
No.
Charge.
And no.
Charge the phone, not changing it.
Yeah.
No, you know, ever since you left, Laura, it's just everything's falling apart. He said he was going to go live yesterday, and then he started to break shit in the house.
Well,
And then, you know, he walked
just
down the
one of those
hallway and
things,
he was
isn't
like,
it?
fuck this house, and smacking lights with the camera or with the
he's
hammer and
got-
everything.
He's got to knock the rest of that wall down today.
Actually, I've got to paint the wall.
Did you get Laura's computer done yet?
No, that's tomorrow.
Well,
Joe.
David, yeah, I hope you learned a lesson. Don't get up on a ladder to paint. Get a roller with an extension.
No,
Yeah, you
I'm
can,
going
you
back.
can get a little small roller like that and have little.
I'm
tiny
going
ones.
back up the ladder.
Or grab hold of something more substantial than a light.
There's my boat chase, Paul.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, next time grab the curtains. Those tend to work pretty well.
Yeah.
As you rip down the whole window frame.
There's one slight problem. It's a hallway
that's
with no
better.
windows.
What were you chasing that with?
That was the
Ask
Air
the coun-
3.
Ask the council to come and fit a safety rail in the ceiling that you can hold on to.
Safety rail in the ceiling.
Hold on.
You'll probably pull the
There was-
ceiling down.
I would
There
say
was a
just
big
put,
headwind.
I would say put a rope on that safety rail, but then you're liable to hang yourself. Don't do that.
I've done a lot of the painting this morning. It's fine.
That's why I told Tim, I said, you better move that flag out of that doorway. You can be drunk one day and get wrapped up in that thing and hang yourself.
Now with Tim, that would be a possibility.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah, I
maybe-
want to go to Tim's house when he's really drunk and just put thin spider webs across the house, you know, so he does that while he's drunk, and then you just eat shit.
No, you might land on the cat.
Oh, that's a warehouse. That looks brand new too.
It's been sitting there for
Yeah.
over almost 2 years, empty, brand new.
Yeah, look at it, dude. Not a fucking single mark on those damn loading bays. Look.
Nope, it's brand new. People go
Wow.
out there and do donuts in the parking lot and dump their trash.
What did they build it for?
I
It's
don't
one
know.
of those projects, isn't it? Build it and they will come.
It's probably
Well,
Amazon.
They built it, and the tenant, I guess whoever was going to rent it, I think they backed out, and they just haven't found anybody to get in there yet. If you look, it's if I could show you where this warehouse was, it's literally on a winding back road about 10 miles from the nearest 95 access. So I think that's got a lot to do with it.
I'll tell you what, though, if that was in Florida, that would have been empty for like 2 days, and they would have had a company in it.
If that had been in the UK, they'd have knocked it down and built flats.
No, in Florida, that building would have been filled really, really quick.
Yeah, I taught my
companies.
Taught my wife how to ride a motorcycle in that parking lot.
They're already expecting investors to flock to Florida now, since since squatter rights don't exist no more in Florida. Now all these housing investors are foaming at the mouth to come down to Florida to start buying up houses, because they don't have to worry about squatters going into them, because they can just call the sheriff's department and be like, "Yep, some guy broke in the house 3 weeks ago and won't get out," and they'll just go over and arrest him and pull him right out of the house.
If a business moved into that place overnight, would they be able to claim squatters' rights?
I don't know. Probably in Randy's state, maybe not in Florida.
Yeah, they probably Maryland's a blue state, so it's a possibility.
I'll go and put a couple of cases in there and claim it.
We just DeSantis just passed another law yesterday that you are not allowed to stop and harass police, or you get automatically arrested if they're in there doing their duty and you try to do that sovereign citizen bullshit on them.
So
right to jail.
What you mean to say is he's taken away your amendment rights because now you're not free to do fuck all.
No, it's because of the First Amendment auditors and people like that. Why the cop's giving a ticket to somebody, they come up and try to harass the cop and take his focus.
Yeah, but that's their right to do that.
No. That's always been illegal in a lot of states. That when a cop is performing his duties, you are not allowed to interfere.
The land of the free, the home of the great, and now
no, I don't.
You fought in the wrong direction. You're going to jail.
I 100% agree with that, because the cop should be focused on what he's doing, not some jackass standing on the side of the road trying to give him shit about giving a ticket.
Justin, I'm winding you up.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying I agree with it, because that person in the car could have a gun, and now the officer's attention's on this jackass over here bitching and moaning at him about ticketing somebody, and then that person gets out of the car when he's not paying attention. You know what I'm saying? It's a safety thing. I'm all about supporting the police departments.
Oh, the DHL driver wasn't impressed this morning, because I actually think he keeps knocking on our door to see Laura, because since Laura took a parcel in last week, every day he's knocking on with stupid excuses. Can you take this in for such somebody? Today, he turned up and he said, somebody's not in on Linstead. Could you take a parcel in for them? And I looked at it and I went, well, you can just bug off. I mean, I was joking because it was a toilet. So I told him to bug off. Right? He didn't see the funny side of it. Right? But luckily, the person that was supposed to be receiving the toilet had chased him down and caught up with him. And he did see the funny side of me telling him to bug off.
So what you need to do is go down to the store, get you a wig and some heels, dress up, put Laura's makeup on, just like really ratty, like you'd never put makeup on before, right? I'm sure you haven't, but make it look like you've just never done it before, and answer the door, be like, "Hello, can I help you?"
Hey, David, is bug off? Is that like the equivalent to
bug? B-O-G, bug.
Yeah, it's like fuck off.
Yeah.
Yeah, but politer. But a bog is also a slang word for a toilet.
For toilet. So if somebody says they're going to the bog, it means they're going to the toilet.
Like I said, just dress up like a really...
Because he was delivering a toilet.
I told him to bog off.
Just reach out and grab him by the shirt and be like, "You want to come in for a minute?" Yeah, oh hell no! Take off running down the stairs, or you might get the opposite reaction.
I'm more worried to the fact that you've actually planned this in detail.
Are you sure it's not Laura that he's interested in? It's not you.
Well, this was the first time I've answered the door to him.
Yeah, he might have saw you through
and the look on his face dropped.
But it was me. Window.
You'll have to stop Laura from answering the door in her pajamas then.
Yeah, and her little.
She doesn't wear pajamas.
No, she
That
wears.
might be why he keeps knocking.
That onesie then.
Yeah. No, he saw David undressing in the window one day, and he was like, "Oh, I gotta get me some of that."
Very much.
Unfortunately, Laura kept answering the door instead of you.
Well, it'd be interesting to see if he turns up tomorrow. I don't think he will.
Oh, here comes Donald.
Tell Bamboo you want your printer delivering by DHL.
Hold on to your.
Don't even go there on that. Them bunch of fucking knobs. They've well pissed me off today.
What's up, Donald?
I didn't know DHL sold boxes that were big enough to fit a toilet in.
DHL will deliver anything.
I liked all your movie quotes in the chat last night, by the way, Donald.
I don't.
Hey,
So,
Donald.
The latest from Bamboo is they will swap my printer. However, I have to accept that if it doesn't work, they'll just keep swapping it and swapping it and swapping it and swapping it. Yeah, hell fucking no. And then they said, I have to take the current Bamboo to a shop and have them take it in and send it back. I'm like, have you seen the size of the box? There is no shop on this planet that's going to take that in. How about they tell the delivery company to come and pick it up?
They do. They'll take any size. They take any size boxes. The courier.
No, they don't, because when we had to take the A1 back, it was the big W.H. Smiths in Basildon that took it in eventually, and that's only because I was pissed.
David, just ask your DHL boyfriend that keeps coming to the door. He'll get it there.
It's got to be DPD, unfortunately.
The annoying thing about mine is that my nearest parcel collection point is a shop that I go in every day near enough. It's only like 50 yards from my back door.
So how's that job going, Donald, where you might get the drone?
Still waiting for them to reply to the bid, but it's out there. I'm getting ready to. I got some emails going on with with the local airport. I might be doing some videos for them too. But man, drone versus. Did you see the new Insta360 X4?
Mr. Who's the Boss did a review on. I haven't watched it yet. I was gonna watch it later.
It looks pretty nice. We were talking about the 360 cameras the other night, and I'm like, we really need higher resolution.
Well, that's what I was saying.
So that when you reframe, you got
aren't they?
a better shot.
Yeah. So has the picture quality gotten better around?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It looks pretty nice. I mean, right now I'm just looking. I was just looking at their sanctioned stuff. I want to see somebody really take it out and use it, but it looks pretty nice so far.
What's the picture quality when you stitch it together? Wasn't it like 1080 before or something?
Well, it depends on, you can reframe it to different, but yeah. I mean, you've had the 4K.
Oh,
Go
ahead, Randy. Sorry.
I say, how does that 360 camera work? Like, I've never had one. Like, when you record the footage and does it give you like 4 different tracks?
Nope. It has the 2 lenses on either side. Those are your 180 lenses, and you take it into their software. So like GoPro used to have their Fusion, and you had the Fusion software. Insta360 also has their Studio, and you import it into that. It will stitch it. At that point, you can export it as a VR video, like a 360 video, which will be a regular video, like an 8K video that has either just side-by-side images, and then your 360 software, whatever you play it on, like YouTube, will play that. You can put that up, and people can use it as a VR video and look around. But the really cool thing about the 360 cameras is doing the reframing within the studio, where you say, okay, this is the shot I want, and you set that and you export that shot. You can take that shot and say, okay, I want to start here, keyframe a pan over to this section, and you can basically build your shots within that studio and export those clips to then bring into your editor.
That sounds cool. Sounds a little difficult, but it sounds cool.
It is pretty.
Yeah. I know Matt. He liked the X3, but he was always complaining that it didn't look that great when he would put it together. I guess it wasn't up to his standards. I guess.
The Fusion.
And he doesn't like the software.
There are bad artifacts on the Fusion, but we're talking that's what almost a decade old now.
Yeah, he didn't like the software. I know he had a.
Was he using the 360?
Yeah. And then he would try to import it into DaVinci, and then like it wouldn't do what he wanted it to do in DaVinci, and it would frustrate the shit out of him. And so,
well, you need to learn the workflow. I mean, people use them, so there is a workflow to be learned.
I thought Matt had the X3.
He does have the X3. Dennis got it for him, and then gave Ron his old X2. And then Dennis got the X3 with the bigger sensor, I think, on it, because there's two different versions of it. One of them's
there's
got
a
like
1 inch. There's a
Yeah.
1 inch sensor.
Yeah, Dennis had the X3 with the 1 inch, and then he gave Matt the second tier X3, and then gave Ron his old X2 to play around with. But Matt got super frustrated with trying to work with that camera.
Yeah,
especially with the interactive videos.
The X3 was 4K, or was it?
Yeah,
it was a little more than 4K, I think.
I think it was 5.7.
Did it go 5.4 or something?
5 something. Yeah, that sounds right, Justin. 5 something. 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
he was really having issues trying to put music on the interactive videos and all that.
Oh, yeah, doing that and actually editing in 360 and putting out the VR videos. I still cannot figure out audio on those. That's a topic in itself, just doing audio on that.
Oh yeah, he researched the shit out of that, trying to figure it out.
As far as making it spatial 360 audio, you can drop a music track over it, no problem, but having it isolate to that direction.
Yeah, because you were trying to. Didn't you do one though where it was interactive and?
I tried. It didn't work. It didn't work right.
Yeah, I remember that you did it in the buggy. You were trying to get it to where the motor sound would change as you turned it.
Yeah, because when you have it, you're actually doing. I'm trying to remember how it worked. You had your 3 directions on your mic that you would have to, or your 3 directions on your audio file, and you had a center audio file, and then you had to either bring one up and down. It would take the difference between those. It was really strange. And so I never did figure it out.
All right. Yeah, Matt had that same issue. He was getting so frustrated trying to figure it out, and it seemed like nobody knew how to do it. Like he asked so many people, and it seemed like I don't think it can be done, honestly, because somebody would have figured it out by now. And there's no.
It can be done.
That's
you
what,
need
I don't know.
Audio engineers understand it, but I mean, they make 360 games. Those are not recorded live. Those are edited.
Right.
Those are audio files and directions. They make all kinds of stuff that's 360 that The 360 roller coaster rides. Those have 360 audio, spatial audio.
Hey guys, I'm gonna take off. I want to go take the bike out for a little bit for my son. I gotta get my son off the bus.
Okay.
All right. See you later.
Catch you later.
All right, I'll talk to you guys this evening.
All righty.
Yeah, it's similar to the oh fuck, what was I gonna say? The audio you were talking about, how you could turn it and it would be different. The sound would increase and stuff. It's kind of like
Right.
the
I wanted,
audio
I
we
wanted to
use
have
with
it so
5M.
if you were there, you could turn your camera around, and as you came back to the motor, you'd hear more motor, or you come up towards the front and you could hear more of the music, that kind of stuff. But never did figure that out.
Well, hopefully they
Kind of using the Doppler effect almost.
Well, I know. Okay.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say I know a lot of people complain to them about that audio issue, so hopefully maybe they listen to people and maybe they made it a little easier. Or
Well,
put some more
it's not the 360's fault.
I'm saying you think they would maybe they'll add that into the software. I don't know, to where it makes doing audio a little easier. You don't have to do all that.
Well, I believe that the 360 studio that you go in to edit the video footage and stuff, I believe that's just processing the video. That's stitching together the two 180 video sequences together seamlessly. I mean, that's its job. Its job isn't to edit.
But would you rather be able to take the footage and put it through your own editing program and do it yourself than
I would rather use the studio for stitching. I have done stitching on the old Fusion. I tried doing stitching myself, and the software that is designed for it, the software that comes with it, understands the lenses, understands the camera, and does a much better job. Or at least in the past it did.
I think I've seen some Stuart and Alana videos where he's recommended different stitching software. But
I'm not an expert on the 360 cameras. I've used the Fusion, and that's about it. I watch some 360 stuff. But this new Insta looks kind of neat. And do I really need a drone, Justin? Do I need to buy a new drone? Because they're going to get banned any second now. Seriously.
I know the drone. Like I said before, the drone community assumes it's not going to happen. I think
I'm seriously scared to buy a drone because I'm ready for them just to drop the hammer down and say, nope.
Yeah, because it's not like relations are getting better by the day; they're getting worse.
Right.
So I don't, and especially if anything kicks off with the Taiwan, that's going to be it. Like, and that could happen any day. I mean, especially with all the shit going on in the Middle East. I mean, that's a distraction in itself right there. That they could decide.
So if I decide, if I'm like, you know what, I can buy myself a 360 camera with a telescoping arm, mount it to whatever, and fake a drone shot. You can do that, and you can just put that in the air and fake drone shots all day long. As long as it's low level stuff, you can't get like way up. You can't go for 300 foot. But most of my drone shots for commercial purposes are less than 20 feet. Maybe 50 feet tops. But storefronts, orbits around storefronts, you don't want to see somebody's roof. You want to show the storefront, but you get a little higher than the average view and do a nice orbit, and that looks good.
I don't know, because part of that ban, Randy, was actually with the FCC as well, using the those particular frequencies. I think.
It was a frequency ban on that. So
if they catch you using that drone with that ban, oh yeah, you're going to be in some serious trouble. Because that's almost like using a ham radio without a license. If they focus in and find you using it and you don't have the license, yeah, And they still do search for shit like that.
Jeez,
They
don't have a license for things now.
so,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know about that.
I think we have more freedoms over here than you guys have over there.
Do you use stuff like reverse dronies?
Me?
Yeah. You know, like a drone, he starts close and goes further away and higher.
Oh yeah, and drop in to
Yeah.
drop in. I've done those, yeah. I mean, you name it, I've done it. I've done card chasing, which that's something that actually, even if you could do a low car chase, if you got the 360 mounted on a telescope on, say, the back of a truck, you could chase, act like or pretend like a chase on it for a drone.
Yeah.
You'd be over the car, behind it a little bit. You could, but like when I've done car commercials and stuff, it's been like down dirt roads, across bridges, so out away from the bridge and tracking stuff. I've done that. But I did a car lot where I came in from. It was supposed to be like Christmas, so it was Santa Claus's sleigh visiting the car lot. So that was one where I came in from about 2 blocks away and just came in low and to the lot, have that framed up.
What's that light on for?
But yeah, for the majority of stuff I do, like I said, I can limp by with that mini, that first generation mini, and I can get just a simple orbit, and people are happy. I wouldn't use it to shoot like a golf course.
Yeah, I really think that ban is more likely to happen than it's not likely to happen. But
And
it's just a matter
me
of
too.
when it's going to happen.
That's why I'm so gun shy. It's like I've been looking, and I'm so gun shy, and it's like I could take that same cash and I could buy that 360, and I can tell you right now, I could find, even for personal shots, for taking my dune buggy out and driving around and getting cool shots of it, I can think of 100 places to mount it on that and get shots. You mount it right out front, you can get right down driver's side, turn it around.
Put the whole ban thing aside. Which one do you think you would get more use out of? Honestly,
exactly.
Right. Oh, cool.
Well,
Thanks, Mike.
Have you seen Philip Bloom's videos?
Philip Bloom.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
He is very, very knowledgeable in cameras. He's from the UK, but he spends a lot
then I
of
don't watch
time-
anything from the UK. Those people talk out of their ass.
Oh no, he doesn't believe me.
Really?
He spends a lot of time in the Greek islands.
It's a well-known saying that Brit talks
And-
shit for a reason.
And he,
I mean, I'm trying to get. I'm making stickers. Brit
stray
talk shit, and I'm
cats.
putting them everywhere.
He looks after the stray cats on the Greek island that he's got a house on as well.
I've seen Philip Bloom. I think I've seen his videos. Then yes, he looks familiar.
Whoa! Wait up a minute. You just accused the British of talking shit, and then by saying you hadn't seen this guy, and now you're telling us you have seen him, so that proves that you talk shit. Just saying.
Randy.
No, I said no. I don't think I've seen him. Let me
But
look
then
at him, and I look. I'm like, oh yeah, I recognize his face. I have seen videos.
So you
of
have
him.
seen British content then? Yeah.
He is good.
I've seen his face.
Very
Yes.
clever.
This is like Justin with his Land of the Free, and he keeps telling us about all these restrictions in Florida and stuff.
No, not
Yeah, it's
Florida.
against
Florida's
criminals.
awesome.
Yeah, it's against criminals, not the everyday person.
I mean,
Compared
he
to
has
the
a
rest
li-
of the United States, Florida's doing it right now.
Yeah, but they're only
Well-
criminals if they're doing something wrong from a law that's been created.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, if you remove
So in
all
other
laws,
words,
then there would
at
be
the
0%.
moment,
Oh, so
it was free to be able to go and record a police officer in his line of duty, and now you're saying that they put a ban on that.
Oh no, you still can.
No, what the law states is that you can't harass the officer during his. What in the hell just happened? Did he get scared?
On. I heard clunk and I thought it was the cats, so I came in here.
He just scared the shit out of Donald.
Boots on for supporting your ankle.
Now, Randy,
Did you hear that girl scream?
Randy, I would hope that they would allow you guys time to sell your drones. Because if they didn't, I don't even think you'd be allowed to sell them online. Because eBay and all them would block any kind of illegal sales like that.
Right. Okay, guys, who's clipping that?
Chicken holes. I believe those are called cloaca. You tripped in a cloaca. That's what I'm telling everybody. She stuck her foot in a cloaca and twisted her ankle.
That's Donald always gets the last word in.
Downstairs.
You're not even letting them go, is he?
Before or after, you scream like a little girl.
Sorry, my.
Not gonna lie, that was a girly scream.
It was a girly scream on purpose.
Uh-huh.
You know that's being clipped. Yeah, you know that's being clipped.
My son showed up with his girlfriend. They were going to go to the zoo today, but they aren't because she tripped in a chicken hole and twisted her ankle. The chickens had
She
dug
was
a hole.
going to a zoo, but then fell in a chicken hole.
Her chickens had dug a hole to do like a dust bath, and so her yard was uneven and she twisted her ankle.
Ouch.
But I told her that a chicken hole is a cloaca, so I'm telling everybody that she stuck her foot in a cloaca and twisted her ankle.
No, so Dre, what it all just boils down to is if a cop pulls over somebody and he's trying to ticket them, and somebody walks up and starts trying to intervene into the
you can't interfere.
Traffic stop. That's all it's trying to.
But you can record.
Right. It's not saying that you can't stand
you
there and record
should be
quietly.
able to intervene if the police officer is doing something wrong.
Well, you should also intervene.
That's what the
you can
recording
offer
said.
legal advice.
But you should intervene too, David, if the asshole that he's got pulled over is harassing him.
Exactly. That's the point.
But what I'm saying is
you could
that
be
would
intervening to help the police officer. You could be intervening to actually say to
but
the
it's not
person
your-
that officer's wrong.
But at the same time, that would if you're sitting there quietly just recording them doing something wrong, then that's your evidence right there.
Yes.
You don't need to intervene. You can immediately take that to a whatever district attorney, whoever you need to take it to.
It's just another
and
law,
give
Justin.
them.
Just admit it. You're not in the land of the free anymore.
Yeah,
You've
you
got more rules than every
Although
day.
you take it to the police committee.
What that law restricts people from doing is getting up into the officer and saying, "Hey, he didn't do nothing wrong. Let him go. Let him go." That kind of stuff.
Well, that's a right.
That's my Florida. That's my Florida hillbilly voice.
It's just getting
hey,
strict.
Hey, you let her go. I'm telling you right now.
There's no right to protest no more.
No, but what I'm saying is that has already been a
That's
law
your
where they're just getting stricter
impersonation
on
of
it
Chris Hope, was it?
to make sure people don't try to do that.
Yeah. See, this is when David acts purposely obtuse to try and get a rise out of us.
Yeah.
I've already had that.
What, you've had a rise out of them?
Well, Justin got worked up earlier.
Not really, no, I didn't. I was just trying to explain the point of the law. It's just getting stricter on that so people don't interfere.
You're getting stricter
when
on everything.
Police are trying to do their duties.
Mm-hmm.
You can always record from a safe distance, and if they're doing something illegal, then like I said, there's ways to deal with that through the court systems and all that.
Don't worry,
The
we're
proper
just going to
Maybe
change your
comment
national
was just
anthem.
too subtle.
Yeah.
Then.
We'll just change your national anthem to the land of the nearly free and the home of the never great. Okay, sorted.
David just can't wait to get that little extra.
Well, now you know how I feel when you guys do it to me.
I thought it was brave, not great.
What was that?
It's brave, not great. The home of the brave.
Land of the free, home of the brave.
Well, why have you got that? Because
this X4 has lens covers too. So, you know, when you have your, where's my fuse?
Nice shuffle.
When you got your 360 lens, they stick out, the bubbles stick out a little bit. The lenses do. These have lens covers that go over the top of that to protect your lenses, which is nice. And you can,
I've got
you can say within
mine.
the software, you can let it know, hey, I'm leaving these lens covers on. That way, if you're doing something that is a little more dangerous and you don't want to risk damaging your lens, leave the lens covers on, and I guess the software accounts for that.
Oh, you mean see-through lens covers?
Well, they are see-through, but there is some minimal distortion whenever you put any glass in front of a lens.
Yeah, especially if it's probably plastic.
Yeah. And so I guess they've got some sort of algorithm that will, which is good because, you know, a lot of people use those 360s. They put them in situations which are dangerous, and
then lenses ain't cheap.
Stuff up a lens and suddenly it's trash. You got to buy a new one. I mean, I would like to see easily replaceable lenses, but I understand why they don't do that to a certain point, because I believe they have to be calibrated pretty much so that stitches.
You got to be careful with those 360 cameras too. It don't take much to scratch those fucking lenses on those things.
Right, but that's why these lens covers are pretty
Can we go
awesome.
back to what we was discussing before?
We were discussing this before.
No, you shuffled away from what we was discussing. I mean, Dre's even put stuff in the chat and you've just ignored him.
Yeah, okay. So Dre agrees with us.
I think he's saying it's not a good thing.
Willfully engaging in a course of conduct directed towards first responders intentionally causes emotional distress and serves no legitimate purpose. That's very broad.
Yeah, but he says who or what determines what is harassment.
Yep. So yeah.
Well, what I will say is, I actually agree with the law. I do agree with what they're doing. I do agree with the law. It's just a little extra thing to have a dig at. Oh, look at that.
This and this will go in the garbage disposal.
What is the red things?
Tomato.
Tomatoes.
Tomato.
Cooked tomatoes.
Tomato.
Yeah,
Just when they bring those trays to you, just have them cut the vegetable part out of the tray. Just take our X-Acto knife and just cut that part off the tray, because you don't eat them anyway. Then give an extra portion of
tomatoes are nice.
Yeah, you should eat the tomatoes. They're good for you.
You don't like anything. That has
I think he just ate a piece of
good for
carrot
you.
then, and he didn't look impressed with it.
No, Murray doesn't like anything that has the term "good for you."
There you go. He's eating his veg. Leave him alone.
He doesn't look happy about it, though. I'll tell you
Hey,
that.
Justin,
What?
DeSantis, I think, is showboating here and grandstanding with the signing of this law, because it directly contradicts with the First Amendment. Because you got to act the most obvious scenario you're going to look at. Okay, people are protesting, exercising the First Amendment right, and officers are there for riot protection or crowd control, so they can turn around and arrest all the protesters for harassment because they're shouting slogans.
If they're interfering with an officer in the line of his duty,
No, he's not saying that that's what that covers.
No, that's what it is going to cover.
No. I'm saying what Mark just said. I was
No,
see. I misunderstood it, but you
No, but
obviously.
right, that's what I'm saying. That people are going to use this. Officers are going to use this law to arrest people exercising their First Amendment rights.
This is what I keep saying. Whenever a country brings in a law, you've got to look at the background to it and look at the finer details, because I can guarantee they're going to slip a few little extras in there that they can abuse whenever they feel like it.
The problem is laws sometimes are set so vague.
Yeah,
that they
just read that law very carefully, just in case somewhere he's tried to slip in the DJI drones.
But that's why that section I put in SB 184 is the definition of that law in Florida. And that's why I say that is so broad and so vague, that law could be used against anybody who is exercising the First Amendment right at a march, a rally, or anything that officers are present.
At a rally, that is a legitimate purpose.
No. It said not legitimate purpose of the people sign off. It's a legitimate purpose, period. That if it's, in other words, as it says here, conduct directed towards first responders that intentionally causes emotional distress and serves no legitimate purpose. Okay,
So if you're, what are you protesting?
Rally,
what are you protesting where you would have
rally,
to direct? What would you be protesting that you would have to direct your conduct at a
Anti-police
specific
rally.
officer?
Okay, so say
Yeah,
DeSantis
anti-police
does,
rally for some reason.
say DeSantis, as an example, not saying he has, but say he does commits a crime, right? And then the people go out on the streets and start protesting against him, right? And then he calls in the police, and the police get in the face of the protesters. The protesters will guarantee respond, like they suppose, like they want to. They want to get their voice across, and then the police can start using this law to abuse it. That's what they were saying. Yeah. They can stop your right to protest.
Oh,
Basically, that's what that broad definition would cover. That you're stopping people's rights to protest, to
so
rally.
nowhere in that bill does it say anything about defining certain situations or.
No, it doesn't. That's why I put, that's the definition right there from that bill, SB 184. That's the definition right there.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. That's too broad.
Well,
Now,
what I'm saying
you
is,
already have laws in the books in most states that talks about interference of an officer.
The prosecution would have to prove that this is what they did. So intentionally, prosecution would have to prove that it was intentionally intended to cause distress towards the officer, according to
So
the words.
what you're now saying is, right, that the police have gone in and they've arrested someone for protesting.
It'll be challenged.
No,
It'll be challenged.
stopped. Yes, but they've stopped that protest, right? That reasonable protest. They've stopped it, and then they can come back to it and say, "Oh, we was wrong to do that."
David, what they need
but the protest
to do
is over.
They need to define what reasonable protest
Exactly.
It can be challenged.
It's like when
it'll
they
be challenged.
closed down the Golden Gate Bridge yesterday, that was not a reasonable protest.
No.
But it was in their eyes.
No.
That was not.
In their eyes, it was.
In their eyes, but their eyes don't
this
count.
is
Their
what
eyes are not
Gray's
law.
saying. Who decides
well,
what is reasonable and what is not?
No, it may have been
let me chime in here on, I can't say for every state, but in most states, it is in the, I would say, law enforcement guidelines and so forth, that the individual officer or officers cannot have their peace disturbed. That is why when we go out on a disturbance call, we can't be the victim. The officer can't be the victim. It has to be whoever calls it in or the complainant. And that's why we have people sign on the misdemeanor charge of disturbing the peace, because you cannot disturb an officer's peace. That's why I say this law is so vague, and is, like I said, it'll lose in court because they're going to challenge the fact that this is part of the duties of a sworn officer, first responder, whoever it is, firefighter, that you will be in certain situations where you may go in and do whatever your duties are, and you will have people voicing their opinions on how you are performing your duty. That is not interfering with your duties, but they can have their verbal rights on the First Amendment to express how you're performing that duty, because your peace cannot be disturbed.
Exactly. But what I am saying is I don't disagree with the fact that a police officer should have the right, or a first responder in any sort of situation, have the right to do their duty. Yeah. However, it's who decides.
You're interfering with their duties. That is a direct act of you interfering, physically direct act of you causing that officer not to be able to perform his duties. Okay. Voicing your opinion is not a direct act of interfering with his duties.
Right.
Now, so I said, this law here will not hold up in court on any type of charge somebody gets arrested for, because the first thing any first-year law student is going to ask is, how does an officer get his peace disturbed? That is part of his duties to work in that environment, or firefighter. So that's what I'm saying. This is a showboat, a grandstanding move on DeSantis' part to appease to a certain group of people who want to say, oh, yeah, we got to protect law enforcement. I'm like, okay, we'll see how this works out until you're the ones out there protesting. They start snatching you up by the collar and putting you in the back of the paddy wagon. Because now you're talking about human emotions. Officer said, I'm having a bad day. Me and the wife got into it. So I go to work and there's a protest or some other incident happened. The group forms up and they're yelling at me about let them go, let them go. So now we're going to arrest everybody there.
But I don't think it is. It may be a poorly worded law. I don't think it's directed towards protest. I think it's directed towards people who are, when an officer is actually in the process of doing an investigation or in the process of arresting somebody, and the crowd gathers around and starts yelling at them. And
that's what I just described. Officer comes in another call, a crowd forms, and they start saying, "Hey, you're wrong. Let him go." Whatever case may be. So they're not directly interfering with his duties, but they're voicing their opinion under the First Amendment Constitution. Now, this is saying that an officer can turn around and arrest that crowd.
Right, but as long as they keep a distance, I would say, yeah.
No.
Let
It
them
doesn't
keep
say anything about distance in here.
Right, I say as long as they keep their distance, let them voice their opinion. But, and you're right, it may be worded broadly. I don't think it's. And David, as far as the crowd on the bridge, that was not free speech.
Like I said,
why was it not?
Because they were restricting other citizens' rights to free travel.
Right.
Your rights only exist as far
no, they
as
did not restrict. Actually, you're wrong. They did not restrict.
They stole
the
somebody's
rights of
car.
the other. No, they did not restrict the rights of other people to free travel.
Yes, they
because
did.
there were other ways around. They didn't block.
They blocked a public road. They restricted somebody's free travel.
If
you cannot take a public road,
behind them was over 2 miles worth of traffic that could.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. What
Yes,
we're
it does.
saying is you have a right to
You
protest.
only have rights. You only have rights.
You have a right to protest, and if you're
until it infringes on somebody else's rights.
But every protest will infringe on someone's rights.
No,
Not
that's the whole
necessarily,
point of a
because
protest.
No, if you want to do a legitimate protest in a city, you can get permits for that protest, and they will shut down roads.
But what happens if you're
accordingly for that.
protesting that rule that you have to get a permit? Yeah, everyone has a right to a peaceful protest, right?
That wasn't peaceful. Blocking somebody from driving or from traveling, going to work, blocking.
They
a
could have
bridge,
gone the other way.
And not to
No.
mention that could impede emergency services too, because that might be the fastest.
Yeah,
way
what
for
if
them to
what if
get.
somebody is in an ambulance? The closest way to the hospital is across that bridge, and now they have to take a detour
Then that's
and go around
different,
because
isn't
of a
it?
protest.
Because then you're
How about that freedom?
No, because you're stopping. Then you're actually stopping a first responder in the line of duty. You're not protesting. You're not having an opinion. You're stopping them.
Oh, that's what
Yeah,
they did
but
to other
they-
citizens. Other citizens have a
Yeah,
right.
but it could be the same
Yeah,
as
but
somebody.
everyone
having a
has a
heart
right
attack
to
that's-
protest.
free
and
travel. Everyone has a
unfortunately-
right to free travel as well. So your right to protest ends when you restrict somebody else's right.
No, you're
Yes.
right. Because when you protest, you're always going to restrict someone. If you're protesting
not.
outside, No, if you're protesting outside a building,
You're protesting
you're
me
a-
right now.
you're-
I'm protesting you. We're not restricting either right. We're both talking.
Okay, can I chime in here for a second?
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
No.
Okay, I can't speak for every state, but here in California, we have a section under California Vehicle Code, section 22400, A, impeding traffic. No one can impede traffic. Unless you are going to be subject to a fine or possible jail for unlawful. That means vehicles driving too slow. That means you're obstructing traffic in the roadway, because the roadways have different laws than this other you protesting. Protesting, nothing wrong with you protesting, but if you are people, you do not have the right to protest in the roadway. The roadway is sectioned off for vehicle traffic.
Yep.
Okay. They could have protested and all stood on the sidewalk.
But if you're protesting on the sidewalk, you're impeding people's right to walk. And then they have to walk in the road.
You can say, David, then that's another section that you cover. But they didn't have it. We're talking about what happened on the bridge. People were on the roadway, and I just gave the section in California.
But the point is, when you protest, the whole point of a protest is to cause disruption.
David, take a second and consider you might be wrong.
No, you take a second.
David, you are assuming that any protest is there to disrupt. A protest is there to voice your opinion, not to disrupt.
A protest is there to disrupt. A rally
is there to voice your opinion.
A rally is to voice your opinion.
No,
they're
protest
different.
is the same.
It's just different wording.
A rally is where you're constantly moving and you're voicing your opinion. A protest is where you're causing a disturbance.
David, actually, rally and protest, you are correct. Rally and protest are two different things. A rally is when you are demonstrating for something. A protest is when you're demonstrating against something. That's the only difference linguistically.
Thank
Well,
you.
what I'm saying
it does
is-
not mean in any formal way that you have to occupy a certain space to disrupt. You can have a protest park.
We're going to have a rally at the park to advocate for a new McDonald's to be built.
No,
we're going to
put
have
it this
protest
way.
at the park to
Right, okay. You're going to have a
complain
protest.
about a new McDonald's being built.
Just stop a minute, Donald. Right?
No,
You're
it's my
going to
free
have a
speech.
protest.
I got
No.
free speech. I don't have to stop.
See,
blah, blah, blah,
you've
blah,
lost.
blah.
You've lost.
Talking over me.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, David.
No, Mark. Go on, Mark.
If two vehicles have a car crash in the middle of a street and block the road, can they then be done for obstructing traffic?
Yep. Because the law states so.
No, that
They're
would be an
stopping traffic. No, they're
emergency
impeding
situation.
traffic. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but what my whole point is those people that were coming onto the bridge that didn't know that was going on, and then they get stuck on that bridge. That's not their fault.
But
that they
the
didn't
point,
think to go around.
right?
'Cause they
So
might not
let's
have
just
known.
explain the protest bit again.
Okay.
Right? If you're going to have a protest and you're just going to stand there at the side of the road going, "Hell no, we won't go."
That's a
And
protest.
everybody's free to keep going past and doing whatever they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Your voice is not going to be heard.
Okay.
And that's the whole point of a protest.
But the
You've
point
got
is,
to do
nobody
things.
gives a shit what the protesters are protesting.
That's the
I'm gonna give you
point,
another
though.
example,
People
David.
did give a shit.
Okay,
Yeah,
David,
but
I'm gonna give you another
everybody-
example.
They've
of
got-
how protesting can be a variety of things. Over the last couple of
protestant-
years, the entertainment industry, each bargaining group did a protest. Okay, you had actors protesting, you had the trade workers protesting, everybody protested, and they walked along the sidewalk holding signs, blah blah blah, walking about their grievances. Okay, they did not occupy any roadway to impede traffic. They did not block the sidewalk. They were moving because there are, like you said, there are rules about
Right.
blocking sidewalks also, but they were protesting.
Yeah, but you're not actually quite getting it. Whether we agree what the protesting was about and how they did it, right? We all agree, right? I'll agree that I have a right to get about and do my business. However, if there's a protest, right, they have a right to protest. And the whole purpose of a wait, before you continue.
Go ahead. I'm waiting.
Right? The whole purpose of a protest is to get your word out by hook or by crook. And if that means stopping traffic, that means people stop
David.
and listen. And it would that protest have been
We've heard your
main
point.
news
You're making the
had they
same point
not
again.
stopped the bridge?
David,
No,
your
Dave, I'm
rights.
sorry.
You have rights here in the
that
U.S.
case-
you have
In
here
that
the US,
case,
you have
the
rights.
drivers would have had the right not to stop and
Right.
just drive through them.
Yeah. Some states.
No, 'cause you're then
if
injuring
they
someone.
if they're in fear of their life, there are some states that will allow you to drive through a protest if they are violently surrounding your car and you're in fear for your
Exactly.
life. You can
Well, that's
go and
different,
drive.
isn't it? But what I'm saying, would
But
that
David-
protest have
David, you
been
made your
main
point.
news?
Can I say something now, David? Because you made
No,
your
just
point.
let me finish.
You
Would that
did.
answer the question? Would that protest been main news had they not blocked the bridge?
Now, David, I will answer your question. Can I answer?
I will apply this here. When the actors and stuff were on strike, they got a lot of news coverage because
Uh-huh.
a lot of folks were losing their jobs.
David, I'll answer your question very simply. You have a right to protest. You don't have a right to be on the news.
No, but the point
David,
is,
David,
the purpose of a protest
You asked
is
if,
to get your opinion out. Look,
and you have the
we're
right
all
to voice your
agreeing.
opinion.
Yeah, we're all agreeing
have the
that
right to
they
voice
Can I
should
say
not have
something now?
stopped the bridge.
David,
right?
you've made your point. Let me tell you. In the U.S., you have rights, and everyone else has rights too. Your rights end when you try to restrict somebody else's rights.
Then you're not the home of the free.
Yes, you are. Why would one person's rights extend to
person's.
restrict someone else's rights? That would restrict their freedom.
No, you have
Yes,
a right
it would.
to peaceful
So
protest.
the people,
the point is,
David, the people on the bridge that stopped the traffic, what gave them the right to stop somebody else's freedoms to drive?
they were protesting. That's
But
the whole point.
what gave them the
Whether
right?
we
Why
agree
did their right?
no,
Why
the
did their right
point is-
supersede the
David,
other
they
people's
were
rights?
not protesting against cars. They were not protesting against.
David,
freedom.
why did
they
their
had,
right-
they
David,
did something.
Why did their right? Why did their
Right,
right
just-
supersede?
just-
David, stop for a second. Why did their right supersede the other citizens' rights?
It didn't. But the point
Yes, it did. They
is-
restricted their travel. They
No,
restricted their
you're
free
not
travel.
actually. You see, you're not getting the point of a protest.
You're not
right?
getting the point
You
of
don't
freedom.
have a protest and just sit there and do nothing because no one's going to listen. They
Maybe if you talk shit,
protested.
no one's going to listen.
No,
But people do listen.
if
No,
they could blocked the bridge and they became global news, that means their word is out further than what it would have been if they stood
What
on
were they
the
protesting
pavement.
for? What were they protesting for?
I protest against
It was
people not
over
using
the
the mute button.
Palestinians.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is if I was
What did that have to do with stealing somebody's car and doing donuts?
if I was
It hasn't got
driving,
nothing to do with that.
but if I was driving down the road,
That was the
and I
same protest,
seen-
right? Or was that a different protest? That they blocked the bridge and did that?
I'm saying if I was driving down the road and I seen somebody protesting something and I really didn't care about what they were protesting, I don't really care. I'm going to keep driving. Now, if they
Exactly.
block traffic, I'm going to get super pissed and then I'm going to hate them even more.
Yeah, but the point is, right? I'm not telling you
You
what
don't
it's-
have a right to. You don't have a right to
No.
reach.
See,
You have a right to speak.
I'm telling you how it is, not from the purpose of you guys or me, right? Because, like I said, if I wanted to go to the supermarket and somebody blocks my way, I'd be mighty pissed off. Yeah. However, I have the understanding
Why would you be pissed
why
off?
they're protesting because
David,
they
David,
want to
David,
get their
David,
message.
why would you be angry if they
out.
stopped you from going to the supermarket? Why would you be angry?
Because I want to get to the supermarket.
Are they restricting your right?
David, let me ask you.
Well,
Let me ask you a serious question, David.
So rights
There
don't
was
extend
there
to
was
restricting someone else's rights.
the last report I heard was 12 to 15 people died because of the protest because the ambulance and the paramedics couldn't get to them because they had to go all the way around 15 miles.
And that is the point where the
So
police
if-
should have been able to go in there and move them on to allow the emergency services through. You can't blame the protesters if the
Yeah, you
people
can.
Don't,
Yes, you
have
can.
don't use their
Yeah, you can.
powers.
if your actions, I don't care if you're protesting.
This is why we need some
your
Brit Talk
actions
shit stickers.
Affect other people's.
No, you talk shit because you don't understand how a protest works. I'm not talking about your rights. I don't give a fuck about your rights.
That's
right?
what protesters
I'm
think.
talking about how a protest works.
Hold on.
You just lost the argument when you said you don't give a shit about rights.
Turn to neutral corners for a second here.
This is day 2 of David being alone without Laura.
No, it's not dating. It's got nothing to do with that. You're not quite understanding the definition of protest.
Soapbox. Get off your soapbox and let me call my soapbox for a second, okay? Now, I put the definition of protest in the chat. That definition of protest doesn't say anything about restricting anybody else's rights.
It's only restricting someone's rights.
Let me finish, David. Let me finish. We let you talk quite a bit. Now, when protesters are arrested, it is not because they are protesting. They are arrested for other violations because they are blocking, impeding, or obstructing other things that are going on. Now, that might be, in your mindset, the ultimate goal of a protest is to disrupt, impede,
exactly,
whatever.
and that's what I was saying.
The law. That is not
David,
the law.
That's not
I
the law.
didn't say it was against the law.
No, okay, David.
No,
I'm saying what the purpose of a protest is.
The law is not for a protest to be able to do whatever it wants to do so it can gain recognition.
Right.
We have a law that protects folks to be able to protest.
When it comes
we call
down,
it the First Amendment.
When it comes down to it, it's just
call our First Amendment, but it does not allow you to exercise to the point where you disrupt or you impede or you cancel out everybody else's rights to do what they're doing.
David, I think you don't know about one word in our right to protest. Peacefully.
In this country,
peacefully,
right? You guys
if you want to protest, if somebody wants to protest you, can they go and you're not paying attention? Can they go up and punch you in the face to get your attention?
Right.
Can they punch you in the face to get your attention?
Let me stop you a minute. Was you affected personally by the bridge closure?
Was I?
Yeah, you personally.
No, other people were though.
Okay, Paul, was you
Dre was
personally affected by the bridge?
Yeah, I had an aunt out there that was caught in the traffic.
No,
for hours.
you personally, you yourself.
Family.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about you yourself.
Family.
Gray was
is an extension of
right.
You
Justin
said that
was
before,
you.
David. You're an extension of your family.
What's up,
No,
Dusty?
what I'm saying is, right? You guys are all talking about it because what they did. We would not be talking about it had they not done that. And that's what the game. That was the aim of the protest.
Okay.
Now,
what I think
you guys
they should have resolved it within an hour. They stormtroopers should have gone on the bridge and just wiped them out.
Within an hour?
Well, what I'm saying is it might not personally affected us, but in a way that could have affected the
right. And we're not arguing.
We're not.
And David, we're not arguing the validity of their cause. We're not arguing any of that.
I'm
we're
not
arguing
the validity
the legality.
I'm arguing
of protesting.
I'm arguing. Yeah. I'm arguing that they had a protest and the aim.
And you're arguing that they had the right to do it. They didn't.
No, the aim was to cause disruption.
Yeah.
And get their word out, and they found a way.
Everybody agrees with their aim. Everybody agrees with you, and that was their aim. But they didn't have the right to do it.
But they did because they did it.
That's where your argument fails. David,
How many of them was arrested?
They did not have the right to block somebody else's
How many
freedom.
of them was arrested?
So,
that doesn't matter.
If they brought the law, how many of them were arrested?
If I go out and shoot somebody and don't get caught, I don't get arrested. I still did something wrong.
How could they not get caught? They were all stood on the fucking bridge.
David,
no, hold on.
Let me
you can only go two ways.
David, let me address that point since I've been involved in protests at this level when we had the first immigration laws here in California in the 1990s. This is what we call political posturing, political will. Officers will be called out to maintain a certain level of control. But you also want to keep a certain level of peacefulness on both sides. Because the officers going there, knocking heads with nightsticks, shooting folks with smoke grenades.
How often do you have protests over there?
No, let me finish now. I'm just
That
trying to
doesn't
tell you
matter.
how it goes.
No, it does.
No,
Let
it
me
doesn't.
finish, David,
It does.
please. These are the orders that officers get. Not that we all are happy about those orders, but they come from higher up to say, okay, go out there and monitor what's
Exactly.
going on to ensure no one gets hurt. That
Right.
is the ultimate goal of the police. Make sure no one gets hurt. Now, if something
And we've
becomes
upheld the
egregious,
law.
David, let me finish now.
Sometimes
If
you have
something
to.
becomes egregious, they will have to do their duties to arrest someone if it gets to that point. But they're
Exactly.
giving everybody a wide
Right.
latitude. Like I say, there's two versions of the law. You have
Yeah,
the
but
letter of the
you're.
law,
You
and
see,
have the
now we're getting to the
Officers have
point where we
discretion.
agree, right?
Officers have
David.
discretion.
I'm
Right.
trying to get you have the letter of the law and you have the spirit of the law. And 90% of the time, police act within the
Not if you're
spirit
sick,
of the
Law.
law.
Right.
I'm
So
gonna
we're
get
now
that
getting
for
to the
you,
point
so-
where we agree, right?
No.
And we're not
However,
agreeing. No, we're not agreeing. We're just
yeah,
saying
we
that
are.
they overreached on their protest. And it's not just Golden Gate Bridge, because it was an organized event that happened across the country. They
The
blocked-
point
there's a lot of other
is,
places
they got
that-
their message out,
the
and
Golden
that's
Gate
what I was
Bridge
trying to
is
say
such a
about what our
significant-
protests were.
No
Over
one
here
ever
in the
said they didn't
UK,
get their message out.
right?
No one ever said that, David. No one ever said they didn't get their message out. We said they didn't have the right to block traffic.
But they want to got the message out.
But they didn't have the right to block
Look,
traffic.
Look,
Let me
right?
get on
They
this,
did not
Don.
have the right to block traffic.
I live 40 minutes from London.
I don't
right?
give a shit where you live. They
No,
didn't have
I'm
the right to
pointing
block
something
traffic.
out here. I live 40 minutes from London.
Okay.
I guarantee every day there is a protest in London that will block someone's movement. Right?
Okay.
Right? It's an unfortunate event, right?
We live in America.
I don't care where you live. You just said that to me. Right?
The
point is, they are there to protest, and
Mm-hmm.
if they didn't do that, their protest would just malinger into another protest, and no one would give a shit.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, David.
Maybe
let me
you have
ask
a
you
better
That's what I
this.
was saying.
Okay, let me ask you this, David. There were at least 7 locations yesterday that a protest occurred on this same event. It was an organized event across the country. Why did the Golden Gate Bridge get so much attention? It's because it is an
iconic venue.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So like I say, they picked a venue which they knew they would get a lot of attention on purpose.
Right.
good,
Now,
Bob.
I'm going to ask you another question.
You don't hear nothing about the other locations that they were protesting.
Right.
Nobody's in favor of what they did.
Yeah, but I'm going to ask you one more question, right? They knew in advance the protest was going to happen, yes?
Yes.
They knew they were going to close the bridge.
No,
By
I said the
protesting.
protest was not announced
No.
to the local authorities. No, I thought you
They did not know they were going to close the bridge. They did not have permission to block the bridge.
So they just blocked it.
Yes.
It was a flash mob, just turned up and blocked it.
Pretty much.
No, the protesters knew they were organized, but the local authorities didn't know.
Well, I knew 2 days ago that they were going to protest. The night of the...
But you didn't know they were going to block the bridge.
Well, yeah, I did actually, because that's what I would have expected them to do. There was no...
Okay,
other-
psychopaths
If they were
might
going to a bridge...
think like
no.
psychopaths.
Right, if you was going to go to a bridge, right, you're going to this big iconic bridge, right, do you really expected them to just go there and stand on the side of the bridge and go...
If I was protesting, that's what I would do. That's a difference between you and me, I guess.
Yeah,
No,
that is the
I'm not.
proper way to protest.
You see, the difference is...
I respect
would
other
go-
people's rights.
Yeah, but the difference is I wouldn't go to a protest.
If I don't go to protest either, but if I was going to go to a protest, I would not restrict somebody else's rights to make my voice heard. That's
No,
tantamount
you
to saying
wouldn't.
that's tantamount to saying you're not paying attention to me, so I'm going to punch you in the face to get your attention.
No, you see, you
That
won't.
would
you
not be
won't
right.
do that. I wouldn't do that. Dre probably wouldn't do that.
But you're arguing
But
for it.
the other people would, and that's the point.
And that's
right?
not right. That's
They
our
did-
point is they
David.
were not in the right.
Another point
Can
to
we
look at
agree?
this, David, is also this. that
I don't
they
know
picked
whether they're in
certain
the right or not.
locations- They picked certain locations knowing what the anticipated response of the local authorities will most likely be. Now,
That was-
I didn't hear
yeah,
them blocking
exactly.
any roads or bridges in Alabama or Mississippi or Georgia.
Well-
And I'm gonna tell you why. Because their local law enforcement would not be so tolerant of that behavior.
Yep. Did you
They
see the
pick- they
protesters
pick
that tried to block the
locations.
road on the reservation?
That's what I'm saying.
Those reservation cops, they don't mess around. They
Certain
came in hot.
locations where they anticipate the local authorities to be more tolerant of the behavior, so they would be able to demonstrate and do what they do. They didn't go to certain states. They didn't go to Montana or the Dakotas and stuff because the outcome might have been totally different.
But I knew
Because the news story
2 days ago that the Golden Bridge was going to face a protest, right?
Yeah.
And my own knowledge of a protest would be, I can guarantee you they're going to close that bridge off, right? Whether you guys want them to it or not, right? Everybody
It's not about
knew
our wants. They
they were
didn't have the
going
right
to the
to.
bridge would have known that. Now, if they didn't have a
It's not
right
about
to
what we
do
want.
that, it needs to down to the police to make sure they didn't.
David, it's not about what we want. It's about they didn't have the right to.
My point is, when you're on a protest, right?
Okay, you're making
your
a different
aim-
point than we are. You're making a
Your
point that they
aim
wa-
is to
we
cause as
understand that,
much
David. We
disruption
understand.
and
They
get
wanted
as
to,
much publicity.
David, we
as
understand
you
the point. We've
can.
made it 10 times. They wanted to make a bunch of noise. They wanted to get attention.
And they've done it.
We agree. That's what they wanted to do.
And they've done
We
it.
are arguing they did not have the right to do that.
They
You
could have
say,
easily got a city
in your
permit and
opinion,
had-
they don't have
No,
it.
no,
They didn't have it.
legally. Not my opinion. Our opinions don't
David,
enter.
that is the
It's
law.
legally.
That's the law.
So every one of them was arrested.
No, I said you get the letter of the law and you get the spirit of the law. The spirit of the law told the officers, who are their supervisors and politicians, do not make a scene to make us look worse than what it is.
Okay.
That's what people worry about, the fallout.
But they're gonna follow it up, aren't they, and arrest people?
No, this is my point,
David.
David. If the police would have went in there arresting people, got into fights, somebody got
No,
thrown
I'm
off
not
the
talking
bridge,
about on the day of the protest.
David,
In
a
the
lot of
following
people-
days now, they're gonna go and arrest people.
David, a lot of people break the law and never get arrested for it.
But the point is,
No.
right?
No,
They
a lot of
broke
people
the
break the
law.
law.
They're not going to get arrested.
Right.
That's just a fact.
Why
They
not?
might not.
Right. I'll point something out. Over here,
But
we
that does
have these
not mean they
protests
have the
all
right
the
to do that.
time. Right. Now, if I wanted to organize a protest today, I go to the Metropolitan Police and say, I'm going to hold a protest and I'm going to have it on London Bridge. Right. And they'll say, okay, you can have your protest, but you can't disrupt the traffic. They will know, 100% know, the protest will disrupt traffic, right? When I get there, right, the police will start and try and prevent me disrupting the traffic. Once the traffic has been disrupted, right, they won't arrest me there and then, and like you said, because they don't want to make a scene. However, they will gather the evidence, and in the coming days, they would then come and arrest me.
That might
Yeah.
still happen too, David. We don't know.
Yeah, I
That's
saw that.
what I'm
Bill.
saying.
He said they tried to shut down a roadway in Miami. It lasted about 15
But that
minutes.
still does. Just because somebody breaks the law and doesn't get arrested doesn't mean that the law does not exist and that they have the right to break that law.
Hey, David.
Gitchy, listen to
David.
my answer, Gitchy. Gitchy, you are correct. Protests in London, most do have to have a permit, but it all depends on where and how you're protesting
They
and the
could have done that
size.
over there legally, though. They could have done that in
Hey,
San
David.
Francisco. They could have got a permit.
David,
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a little homework lesson to look at. I want you to go look at the 1965 Edmonds Bridge March.
What's up, Ricker? Bill?
Right,
You
so I'm
look that
gonna
up, and I
Right.
hope you see a video clip of what occurred there.
see all this came right about me having a joke with Justin about you guys being the home of the free and great, yeah, and whatever, the brave, right?
No,
And you guys are getting upset over
we're
a
not
protest on a
upset.
bridge.
we're not. This is my
I know.
whole point.
We're not
We
upset
sat
about
here and
protests. We're
tried to
about
discuss with you the difference between laws and how our laws are applied. We're not any country in the world. Actually, not any. Most countries in the world do not always go by the letter of law. There's always exceptions or circumstances that come into play.
And David, you are mistaking what we're upset about with those people. We aren't upset about them protesting. We're upset about them restricting the rights of other citizens.
Yeah.
right? So you go
All
out.
our rights
Wait
are
up.
equal. All our rights are equal.
Just like David, if you
So
say,
you can now go out and disrupt their rights and say,
No.
you disrupted our
No, I
rights.
cannot
We're
I
gonna
cannot.
we're gonna go and we're gonna upset. We're gonna stop
No,
your
I
rights
cannot.
to protest.
No, we didn't. No, that's not their right to block somebody else's. They can protest on the side of the road and protest, but when their protest starts disrupting somebody else's rights, then their protest has overstepped their reach.
Now let's go back to what I was saying. Right?
David, what
It
you're
goes back
saying
to
is
what
that
you've said.
No,
10 times.
you guys have all gone off on a tangent, right? And you haven't quite got what I was saying, right?
No, I got what you're
The
saying.
whole
You're
purpose of a protest is to get your opinion out and your voice.
We
understand that, David.
The only
And you
difference is
and
your
you have to get
definition-
it out as far and as wide as possible. That's the
No,
aim
we
of the
understand that,
protest.
David,
I
but not by any.
And that's
purpose-
what they've
but-
done.
but not by
Okay.
any means.
I understand.
But that's what they've
both
done.
Sides.
But not by any
It's
means.
the
That's
only
not your right.
difference. The only difference that we're seeing here is David's opinion of a protest is different from our opinion of a proper
No,
protest.
not necessarily, Justin. I said
No.
The protest is a protest. The difference here is David is focused on the outcome of the protest. What
Yeah.
they want to get. We're focusing on how to properly protest.
You know, you
That
see,
is the
this is the
difference.
point. This
David
is where
thinks
we
that
get.
you should be
This
able
is
to
where it's all
protest
getting
at-
confused, right? Because what we would do in a protest, me, you, Dre, Justin, what we would do in a protest is not the same as what someone else will do, right? Now,
but that doesn't mean they have the right to do it.
no, it doesn't. But the point is, if you're going to have a protest, you're going to try and cause disruption. That's the whole purpose of it.
No.
I wouldn't.
That is not.
Otherwise,
that is not always
it's a
in
march.
In game, David. I
No.
just
A
told
march,
you about
a march
the-
can be part of a protest.
Yeah, but see, this is my point. His
A march is a
definition
type of protest.
Right.
His definition of a proper protest is different from what we're saying.
Yeah,
It's
because
just all
over
about what
here,
he thinks it is.
yeah, because over here we have protests, which we know will cause disruption. That's that's what we say is a protest. It causes disruption, whether we like it or not. It will cause protest. Like last week, we had the farmers with the big tractors. As much as a protest as it was, yeah, I'm going to say it was a pretty darn good sight watching all them
Yeah.
tractors going round and round in circles.
In
But
in the U.S., David, a protest, you do not have the right to restrict somebody else's rights to make your point heard. Once
Well,
you overstep that bound, you are
The
violating
average
their rights.
and
you
the
don't have right to
average
do that.
American has an attitude of do what you want to do, live the way you want to live, but don't impede on my rights.
Yeah,
That's
and I'm the
that's
same.
an average
right?
American.
I'm the same,
No, you're
right?
not.
As long
Yeah,
as you're
yeah.
not
David,
bothering,
you're
I'm
focused
100% the same on
you're
that.
focused on the
Nope,
end
you're
result.
agreeing with people who blocked the bridge. Then you're not.
Yeah, like I said, you're focused on the end
No,
result.
I didn't say I agreed with them.
You agreed with they should be on the bridge. You said they should be
No,
on the bridge.
I didn't say they should be on the bridge.
Okay, so
I'm
then we agree
saying-
they should not fit on the bridge.
I was trying to explain what I say is a protest. A protest is going out there to cause disruption.
No,
now,
that's not the definition of protest.
No,
That's not a definition of protest. You're
Right.
wrong.
I will point something out. Last week we had the farmers protest.
Oh my God, your voice is so hard
No.
to hear.
We had the farmers protest.
Mhm.
See, this is the point with Donald. He gets like this and he fucking loses. He fucks off, right?
I'm still here.
Yeah, because you're more reasonable, right? I'm saying last week we had the farmers protest. Their aim was to cause disruption to traffic during rush hour traffic, and they did it, right? Because we knew that's what a protest is. Now, when I hear of a protest in London, if it says protest, I avoid it, right? For obvious reasons, because I know exactly what they're going to do, right?
Okay.
And that's why the law that we're trying to pass over here, which is similar to what Santos is trying to do over there, is your right to protest. You have a right to protest, but you don't have a right to me and whatever else. But they're going to try and ban the right to protest, right? However, now a couple of years back, me and Laura joined the march, for Europe, which was different, right? Because
How is that different?
our aim was not to cause disruption, right? Our aim No, the aim was to form a march, and we marched to Downing Street, and
Mhm.
then we had people. Once we got into this area, Trafalgar Square, which, yeah, only people that would have been there were sightseers, right? We got to this point, and then we listened to the speeches, and then we went home, right?
Okay.
And the only
I'm
reason
just gonna
that
ask one simple
march,
question, David. I'm
that
asking one simple
march would not
question.
have got any publicity if it had only been what everyone was expecting, 10,000 people. However, nearly 2 million people turned up, and it went a lot bigger than it ever should have been.
If you get
Right?
2 million
Now I'm
people,
gonna ask you one simple question, David. Look up the definition of protest and tell us what it says.
Yeah, but a protest in the US is different to what
no.
protest is here.
You're rewriting the definition, David.
I'm saying if you get
I ask you one simple thing. Go to your dictionary on your computer and tell
Yeah.
me what it says, what a protest is.
I'm saying if
Simple
you
as that.
get 2
It's
million
universal.
people, if
Your-
you get 2 million people coming to, if you get 2 million people coming to protest and they're not impeding anybody else, there's
No,
no way in hell
different.
that's not going to get news coverage.
Different.
There's just no way.
We didn't go to protest. We went on a march. That's
Right,
different.
but what I'm saying
right?
is if you
Justin,
get 2
he still
million,
hasn't answered the question, Justin. I want him to go to the dictionary on his side of the country, of the planet,
Okay.
and tell me what the definition of
but what
protest
I'm
is.
saying is if I get 2 million people to gather somewhere and they do not impede anybody's others' rights, they don't do anything crazy, nothing crazy happens, I guarantee you that's still going to get news coverage.
Yeah.
That's 2
I
million
got
people
examples I can
gathering.
give him.
That's
I got
insane,
exa-
insane amount of people. You don't
Can
have
I
to
ask
do
a
anything
question?
crazy.
Sure, Mark.
Well, I exercised 3 of my British rights. I went upstairs, I stripped my bed, I put all the bedding in the washing machine, I turned the dishwasher on, and I made a cup of tea. Did I miss anything?
Not really.
A lot
We're
of
just-
bluster.
We're just trying to come to a happy medium here because I tell folks,
You know what the
people's
funny thing
intended
is?
results may want to be.
Right? The
Okay, but
difference
understand,
is,
we got to agree upon what the facts are, David.
yeah,
we can't have a
but
discussion.
no, because you
over
guys
about
are going at your guys are going at a different angle than what I
No, I'm
originally
not. No, I'm
started
not,
at.
David. David,
You
that's why I
are.
just asked you,
No,
Look at what is the definition of
right?
protest?
You guys have gone off on we have a right to move and we have a right. You don't have a right to block this and that, right? And my point was the purpose of a protest, right? Whether
By what
we agree
definition,
to it
David?
or not, is to
What-
cause disruption.
By what
It's a s-
definition, David?
But it's the same definition you go on freedom of speech. Even if you sit
No, not
outside,
Justin. Not Justin. We got to go back. Like I said, you cannot have a discussion on any topic if you don't agree upon the facts. The fact here
My
is
fact
what is
is-
a protest? What is a protest?
To
Simple as that.
voice your opinion, yeah,
Keep
and
going.
have your word heard.
but what Dre's
Okay.
saying is you're giving your opinion on what a protest is.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Not a
That's my
definition of
point.
it.
Right?
So there is no definition on either side of the pond of what a protest is and isn't. We have a baseline to say this is a protest. How you protest is on the individual or group gathering, whatever, end results of what we want to
Well,
do.
actually,
But a protest itself,
on this side of the pond, there is a definition
well,
because
I've asked you to read it to us.
no, in what it says on Google,
You don't wanna
I've
read
read you
it
what
in
it says on
definition.
Google, like you told me to do. But I'm telling you, over here, right? If there's a protest, it is different to a march. A march will keep moving. It will set off from a point and it will go to a certain point and then it will have an end game.
Well, that sounds like
A
a rally to me.
protest does not have an end game, right? Because I could start a protest right now if I wanted to, right? It doesn't mean I have an end game. It doesn't mean I know where it's going to end up. It just means I'm going to get people to come out and in support of me, right? That's it,
Okay.
right? Where if I was having a march, right, then people are still coming out in support of me, but there
Mhm.
is an end game. They will get to the end and they will have their speech and then they will go on their merry way.
Okay.
right?
Personally,
That's the
I
whole
think I
point.
prefer to have either an April or a
So
May.
what you're saying there, Dave, actually, once again, I would agree with what you just said, which goes along with the definition of protest. Okay. You're trying to imply that part of being disruptive is part of a protest automatically. No, it's not.
No, I'm not saying that now. You see, there you go. You assume that's what I was implying. I
that's what you kept
implied.
saying.
Yeah,
You
No.
kept saying that.
Whether
I
we
didn't say
agree
imply
or
it. That's
not,
what you kept saying. You kept
I
saying
said-
that it's not a protest unless they disrupt.
no, I did not. I said the purpose of a protest is to get your word out. And to get your word out in today's society is to get people talking about it on Twitter, on Facebook, and on the TV, right? And if they just stood at the side of the bridge and just had a peaceful protest with a couple of placards, it would have been talked about for 30 seconds. Yeah, it'd have been mentioned. There was a protest today on the bridge, and it went, right? They would not be talking about it in 4 days' time, right? That is what happened on the March for Europe. There was a march today, and that was it, gone. It was never spoke about again, right? 2 million people turned up, right? However, the farmers last week, but the farmers last week with their protest, and the difference is here, right? The police knew exactly what the farmers were going to do because the farmers told them they was going to go into London and they were going to protest.
They asked for permission to do it.
They had permission to do it. They didn't have permission to do what they did in the end, which was to stop the traffic. The whole purpose of them being in tractors was to keep moving, right? It would allow public transport and whatever else to keep going along with them. And at that point, that did happen at the start. Buses and normal people were getting filtered in and going on their merry ways as they went one way, they went the other. However, one person decided to take the protest to the next level, and he'd stopped his tractor, put it at an angle, and that stopped the traffic both ways. And then the protest went, and now people are still talking about that protest because of what he did. Right? That's what I'm trying to say.
That was an individual decision.
It was an individual.
Now,
and that's what would have happened yesterday.
I'm going to tell you this, David. Hold on. Let me break in. We never heard about that protest that you're talking about. I heard about the French one when all their farmers came to town, their tractors. That was on the news over here.
Yeah, well, ours was on the news over there because I watch your news. I watch NBC and Fox and CNN.
Yeah, I didn't hear nothing about anybody driving tractors down in London.
Well, I watched it on your news. CNN covered it quite extensively.
I must have missed that. I usually watch about 3-4 hours of CNN a night.
CBS. Yeah, CBS partner with BBC News. CNN tend to partner with Sky News, and Fox News tends to partner with RGB News. Right, so that's how I ended up watching CNN because Sky often go over to CNN and continue. Right. Yeah, you know when they have that lull during the day, and
I didn't catch it at all. Didn't get repeated, like you said, didn't get repeated or whatever. And like I say, no one's making a big deal about the protest on the bridge this morning so far because it's over with.
Well, clearly, because we're talking about it here.
Well, we're talking about it here because you guys were dragging it out.
No, I didn't drag it up.
No, let me finish here. I said because you can't agree upon what the definition or either the facts are. You can't.
We did agree on the definition of a protest.
No, David. You kept saying
a
protest isn't a protest unless it disrupts or impedes.
No, I didn't say that. Yeah. Right, I said, and you can go back and watch this.
Yeah, you.
I actually said, no, you go back. No, go back and watch. I said that a protest will always cause disruption, whether it's stopping traffic on the road or stopping people on the footpath or stopping people getting into a building. It doesn't matter. When you get a gathering of people, it will cause disruption to someone, whether we like it or not. If you have a flash mob, dance mob that keeps happening every now and again over here, they just turn up, they start dancing, right? with a gay pride agenda, right? They do that. Their aim is just to do that little dance and move on, right? And they'll go to the next location. However, just by them just being there naturally causes a disruption, because then people will suddenly go, oh, what's going on here? They stop. And that causes a knock-on effect. And then suddenly you can't get into the shops and so on, and the shops are affected. And that's what I'm saying. A protest, by its nature, will always cause a disruption to someone, whether we like it or not.
Well, I'm glad you clarified your position, because that's not what you said earlier.
No, that's what I was trying to tell you. That's what I was telling you.
Trying to tell me what your actual words were not the same, partner.
They were. I said it at the start. The purpose of a protest, by definition, will always cause a disruption.
Now you're using the word definition, and we just covered definition, and now we're in the word definition of
protest. A protest will always, we can guarantee on this, right? If you had a protest today, if you stormed out your office, right, and stood outside the door with a sign just saying, I disagree with David, right, somebody will stop and think, what the hell's going on? And by that person stopping, someone else will have to stop. And then they'll all go around. And before you know it, right, you're affecting people. That's what I was saying. Whether we agree with protesters,
a peaceful protest can have the same effect, David.
A peaceful protest will always cause disruption as well.
And that's not what you were saying.
Yes, it
Not
is.
necessarily, because the protesters could get a permit and the proper streets be shut down.
No, but like you said,
barriers put up.
Person pays attention and it causes them to think about it. That is considered a disruption.
Right. The point
not
is,
that they have to actually stop the traffic, but that was not what
it all comes down to my main whole argument on this thing is not infringing on other people's rights. It's the same as the freedom of speech. You could, in the US, you can sit out on the street corner and sit there and yell racist crap all day long.
Yes.
Even though I don't agree with it, I still don't want to infringe on your right, because the minute I do that, then it opens a can of worms of everything gets banned.
yeah. But wait up. By you doing that, right? Say right, me, you and Dre walking down the street, you suddenly decided, right, I'm going to sit on the corner, I'm going to start shouting abuse at people. You say you have a right to do that, right? You're infringing on my right because I don't want to hear it.
That doesn't exist. Hate speech doesn't exist in the US technically.
Well,
you go by our definition, it doesn't exist.
Well, neither does the definition of a protest.
Now, your opinion on hate speech is different.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. A protest is an opinion, right? You will go out, and unfortunately, we will all agree on this, I am sure. The whole purpose of a protest is to have your voice heard.
Oh, I don't disagree with that. I just don't think
you will, whether we agree on it or not. And I will point something out. We agree, right? If I organized that protest yesterday on the bridge, right, as a decent person, I would say, okay, what we're going to do, we are going to close this bridge down. But if emergency services want to get through, we must move out the fucking way, right? Because that's what I would do, right? Okay. This is why when I went on the march in London and we got to a certain point, right, the whole aim was to keep walking, right? Otherwise, it becomes a protest. Once you stop, it's a protest. If you keep walking, it's a march. And that's where the police see a difference in definition when they allow these things or not, right? Because let's be honest, if I say to Dre in his job today, I want to protest outside your building, or I want to have a march outside your building, and I just want to walk around and round and round, and Dre says, actually, no, right? Still going to happen, whether Dre likes it or not. But the difference is, it's not a march anymore.
You're on my property?
No, not on your property, on the outside, walking around it.
Knock yourself out.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying, if you disagree with it and said, no, I do not want you to do that, right? it's suddenly not a march anymore. I am not marching around your building. I am protesting around your building. And by the nature, you will come out and say, I want you to bugger off. And we cause a bit of a row. And suddenly it causes a scene. And by nature, causes a disruption to other people entering and leaving the building. It's just, that's what I'm saying. A protest will always, by nature, whether we agree on the definition or not, will always cause a disruption to someone. You agree on that?
No. Because I've seen protests that didn't have that problem. Now, it might affect somebody emotionally if they don't agree with you. But that's not your right to be emotional. I mean, that's your right to be emotional.
Yeah, but what I also said,
it's
yeah,
your not
about
your right to tell me not to say it.
No, but what I'm saying is also yesterday when they closed that bridge, yeah, there was still ways around. Yes, everybody wants to go over the bridge, but there were still ways to go around it, whether that's
And I would
longer
have
or
to
whatever.
agree with Bill when the protests impedes on other people's rights of movement, like the people on the bridge. I guarantee you, every one of those people on that bridge, probably 90% of them, now have been pissed off.
Yeah, but this is again.
Agree with these people.
Yeah, but the point is, we're going to
They're not going to support your cause.
Yeah, but this is where we're disagreeing, right? Because you're saying they infringe the rights of movement, right?
Because
I disagree. This is where I disagree with you on this.
Yeah, but what if somebody lost their job because they came on that bridge not knowing that it was shut down, thinking they were on their way to work, and they lost their job because of that?
Well,
because
you
wanted to stand out there and protest
you would
about
go to
something that isn't going to change. No,
that's
matter
a
how
different. That's a whole different aspect, right? We will come to that one in a minute. But my point is, my opinion would be, they did close down the bridge, and that caused disruption in the sense that people had to go around, but people still had the freedom of movement to go around, right? Whether we agree with it or not.
On the bridge that didn't know until they were on the bridge.
But those people that were stuck on the bridge, how did they not get off the bridge? Did they close it at both ends?
It was a one-way traffic. They couldn't go anywhere. I mean, it was shut down both ways. They were stuck without.
Who shut it down?
The protesters.
Right, on both ends.
No, it was in the middle of the bridge.
Right, so they got to the middle of the bridge and they caused a protest and closed it. Right?
Yeah, now, so why is it fair?
But no, it's not fair. But the logic would say, right, those people in the cars, right, they're in cars. I agree that for pedestrians, it would be unreasonable to ask them to go 25, whatever miles it was. In fact, it's unreasonable to ask cars. But the point is, if it organized correctly, if the police had gone, right, this bridge is now closed to this protest, let's get the innocent people off the bridge. And that's quite easy because you get to the diversion point and you say, guys, you're going to have to go that way. And then once it's cleared off a bit, you start reversing the other cars and they suddenly come off. And before you know it, the protesters, yes, they've closed the bridge, but movement is still continuing. And that's what I was saying, right?
Well,
there was a failure.
Implying, David, that these organizers, protesters, informed the local authorities in advance, which they did not.
Well, I knew about it 2 days ago. It was going to happen.
Well, like I say, what you know and what
I'm in the UK
know is two different things.
How did the authorities not know? They were talking about on our news yesterday
I'm
morning.
just trying to tell you the facts. These are the facts. It was impromptu, as far as we're concerned here. Local authorities, it was an impromptu protest organized without any local authorities knowing about it.
Yeah, right. And I just, so but I have to ask the question.
That's why they had the maximum traffic congestion, because no one was informed ahead of time this protest was going to take place.
You think
but that's where the law was broken then, because like I said,
that's what we're trying to do.
No. That wasn't said at the start.
Do you think the people would have drove on that bridge knowing they were going to be stuck there for hours?
No, but my assumption would be, and you know, whether you agree with it or not, my assumption is,
I agree with you,
the
Bill.
UK news is saying there's going to be a protest on the Golden Gate Bridge today, At what point is there not a communication that the authorities in the US would know about that? If our news knew about it,
well, what would be the point of putting a protest on a bridge if nobody's going to be on it?
It would still cause some sort of disruption. It would still cause attention, and it would still cause disruption. That's the whole point.
But they would have never allowed it if they knew that that was going to happen. Well, I don't know, because California doesn't.
A bridge like that, Justin, that bridge takes you out of San Francisco into the south areas of the outskirts of the city.
Right.
Yeah,
the city or the local law enforcement would never agree to have that bridge shut down because
exactly never would agree. But that's my point. If we knew about it before it happened here in the UK, surely to God, someone in the US would have known about it and informed the local authorities and said, guys, there's going to be and then it's up to the police to make sure that the protesters was able to be on the bridge, but they weren't able to disrupt the traffic to the point they did.
But the thing is, too,
it's a failure of the system.
Let me get you, David. Hold on, Justin. The protesters actually came in vehicles themselves and exited their vehicles on the bridge.
Yeah.
So they used their own vehicles as blocking devices while they got out and walked. So there you go right there. Like I said, they were illegal in a lot of things they did because you didn't hear about them marching to the bridge. They drove onto the bridge, stopped their vehicles, exit them, so no one could. We
was told, there would be a protest on our news yesterday morning. There will be a protest for the Palestinians on the bridge, right? We knew that. So the authorities,
you got the news ahead of all of us.
Exactly. So why was the authorities in the US not able to go, wait? Because I assure that you guys like over here, our authorities are watching news across the world. Yeah, that's how secret services work, right? If we've got people over here going, there's going to be a protest on the Clifton Bridge, whatever it was, Golden Gate Bridge, right? And then they're talking to someone in the US about it, right? Someone in the US knew it was going to happen. That is a failure of that person to tell the authorities at the right time. And it's, again, a failure of the authorities to not understand what would happen if a protest happened, right? And, if the authorities knew in advance, maybe they wouldn't have allowed them on the bridge. Well, they wouldn't have been able to stop it, really, would they? If what you're saying they did drove onto the bridge, they still wouldn't have been able to stop it.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's why I knew that local law enforcement was not informed of what was going to take place because they were not going to allow anybody. They might allow them to march, walk across the bridge or whatever, and protest as loud as they wanted to. But like I say, when you drive onto the bridge, exit your vehicle, and then you create a chain of bodies across it so no one else can go.
But can I just point something out, right? If they had done what you said, marched across the bridge, just literally a big gathering of people, and they walked right across the bridge with the placards and whatever, would that not have caused disruption?
Yeah.
Exactly.
All these people walking across that bridge, it would have been a big deal. Still.
Exactly. There you go.
It would have been, if they would have walked across the bridge orderly fashion without disrupting traffic, it still would have been a big deal.
But that's my point, right? A protest by nature.
They had to disrupt and impede.
But the point is, the protest by its nature, whether it be the peaceful march across the bridge or what they did, it still would have caused disruption. And
why
that's
would
what
you
I
think
said at the start? A protest will always cause disruption.
Why would you think that doing that would get you any local support? Because that's all.
I didn't say it would get you local support.
Well, then you're pretty much working against your own cause because you're just pissing off the local population.
Actually, do you think those people on that bridge did that to get local opinion?
Well, I mean, they're protesting in that area. You
No,
want to get
they-
people on your side to help you
No,
with
no,
your
no, no.
cause.
They were not interested. They're not interested in the likes of us.
But I don't
Yeah.
even live there, and I think those people are complete fucking morons, and I'd never
Yeah,
support them.
and I don't
That
live
has
there,
nothing-
and I
has
think they were
no-
stupid as well. I won't say they're fucking
and it has
morons. I just
nothing
say they
to
were
do-
stupid in what they
It
did.
has nothing to do with what they're protesting, but I sure as shit wouldn't want to support their cause
Yeah.
if that's the kind of shit they're doing. Now, if they were on
Well-
the side of the road peacefully asking people, hey, do you want to sign this petition? Do you want to explaining their cause of what they're trying to protest?
Yeah,
I wouldn't
right.
mind stopping talking to them.
Right. I just want to stop you a minute. They're not interested in you because they're not asking for you to sign some sort of petition.
Well,
What
do you
they
think-
wanted to do, they wanted to raise awareness, and the
But the
awareness they
average
wanted to
American
raise.
doesn't give a shit.
No, that's the point. But they didn't want your.
And when
they
you're
wanted
doing stuff like
news
that,
coverage.
it doesn't
Okay,
matter.
okay,
It
David.
doesn't support.
Here we go.
It works
I
against
just
you.
brought the news article from, I think this is from CNN. It says here more than 250 people were arrested or taken in custody across the U.S. Monday at pro-Palestinian protesters blocked roads, one of the country's most famous bridges. Also, there were protests at Chicago O'Hare Airport, Eugene, Oregon, and also Seattle SeaTac Airport. People were demonstrating there, blocking traffic. So there were some people got arrested.
Yeah.
And like you
But the
say-
point is, the authorities knew about it.
No.
They must have no. There's no way on this planet, right, with your guys' Secret Service, right. If I was going to be a terrorist and I bought something illegal, they would have me banged up before I could say boo, right? They would literally
That's
have
not
me.
the
They would
right
be
here, David.
watching me.
That's
Hey,
not the
David,
Secret Service.
David, this is the statement from the California Highway Patrol. It was an orchestrated event they put forth. California Highway Patrol Chief Don Goodart said they blocked 3 separate locations on the freeway. They prevented law enforcement, paramedics, ambulances from getting to their points of destination.
More.
Yeah.
So who knew in advance of what?
But that's the point.
the statement from
We
the
knew
California
about
Highway
it,
Patrol. Huh?
right? That it's not my fault that the people in the US didn't know.
I'm not saying it's your fault,
Right.
David. I'm not putting fault on anybody.
But
we
I'm
can't say it all
saying-
back here soon because your news service got wind of this ahead of whatever we got wind of it. So I can't point fingers at anybody. I can't point fingers at the officers there. They just responded to what was going on. And that is the word that's put out. Now, if they doing a big cover up and say that, oh, we secretly allowed these folks to protest at about half of the major airports on the planet. 'Cause
Right.
O'Hare Airport in
And
Chicago
the difference,
is why one
right?
of the
And
top
also
10
the difference
top 10
is
airports in
here,
the world.
right? What we're saying is protest there. Now, my take on this would be if they've not got because like I said, I knew in advance it was going to happen, and I'm not part of the group or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? I don't agree with what they did. However, right, it would be my understanding, right, because if I was to go and start a protest in the middle of the M25, well, one, I'd be dead. That's when you say boo, because some knobhead in a lorry will hit me, right? And yeah, and I'm a bigger knobhead for being there, right? So just saying. Yeah. But the point is, if I was able to stop the traffic, the police would, I would expect, come and move me pretty quickly. Yeah. Right. Whoever made the decision not to clear them quickly is at fault.
Well, that's the Monday morning quarterback position.
Yeah,
Like
I
I tell
don't
you, like I
disagree
always
with you
tell you,
that.
Political views will swing widely depending on where you're at in this country. Like I told you,
Of course
if
it
this
does.
one if
Same
this one
over
took
here.
This one took place in Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, or even down in Justin's neighborhood in Florida. It could have been a whole different outcome when this occurred.
Oh yeah, the
And
Miami one
it'd
got
been
shut
global
down real
news,
quick.
and it'd have been
Yeah.
like officers beating people upside the head with billy clubs.
Right.
Well,
Well,
and it does. It comes down to whatever your local politicians are, because, I mean, not to get political in this whole thing, but in blue cities, you're probably going to have them not be as enforceable.
Well, like I said, it's all about perception. Like I say, San Francisco has always been about people having rights to protest. That's San Francisco's history of protesting, like David's talking about happening in London. Protests are common.
Yeah.
Protest is common in San Francisco. Okay. And the same thing up in the Oregon area. We've had protests in the last several years like crazy. It was nothing like that when I lived up in Portland, Oregon, back in the late 80s, early 90s. Nothing like that at all. Up in Seattle, same thing. They had a crazy amount of protests over the last several years during the pandemic. So they picked some hot spots to protest, knowing what the anticipated local law enforcement response would be. So this is them doing their homework in advance of knowing. Like I said, they didn't pick certain places they know they might run into a very stiff opposition. They went to places where it's like, okay, they're going to let us kind of, meander around, and unless you really get out in the way, then you might get arrested. Other than that, they're going to kind of like, okay, you had your say, now move along. Like I tell me, when they start picking places like in Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, then you'll get my attention. Okay, they real serious about their cause, because now they putting their lives on the line.
Yeah,
right.
What I'm
Because
saying,
in Florida, they have signed laws down here that say if you feel threatened and you're in the middle of a protest in your vehicle, you can run people down. And I guarantee somebody in Florida would have done
my
that.
whole thing, Justin, it'd be a big old shootout, because you guys got that open carry law down there now. And
so
stand your ground.
Right.
So
Let's not talk about how we would all deal with this. Let me ask you the question where we started off with this.
Mm-hmm.
Did the protest achieve its aim?
Yeah, that's true, Dusty.
Did the protest achieve its aim?
No, because it didn't garner. I don't think it garnered any support. It might have got the news attention.
No, that's not what I said. Listen to what.
Yes, it got attention in the news. Yes,
exactly.
But does that affect anything? Is the government going to change?
But that's
their
the
mind
point. That's what I was saying at the start, right?
Yes, but what's the point
you have
of
a
doing
protest,
it if it's not going to change anything? Not only did you piss off the local population, but the government's not going to change your mind because you decided to shut down a bridge.
The point is, the pro-Palestinians in America, right? They don't want you, Justin, you, Dre, you, Paul, or Don. They're not interested in your opinions, and they don't want your support. What they want to do is they want to get their voice heard by the politicians, right?
But the politicians don't agree with them, so why
they don't agree with them. But the point is, now the politicians have heard, and the politicians will be aware of the lengths they're going to go to, right? And I think, personally, opinion is slightly changing on the war in Israel. Not only the fact that Israel has a right to defend itself.
Think it's going, David?
Yeah, but
which way do you think it's going?
I think it's going where more people are now talking about, let's get to a peaceful resolution, where at the start, America and Britain, whether I agree with it or not, were saying, you go in there and bomb the shit out of these fuckers. They done what they done. Let's go and get them back, right? And Israel, in its right, had a right to go in and say, enough's enough with you fuckers, right? We're going to deal with it. Unfortunately, I think Israel overstepped the mark when way too many civilians were getting injured. When they started bombing, aid trucks, and innocent ambulances and stuff like that. There are always going to be casualties of war, whether we like it or not. Innocent casualty. However, when you deliberately target, and they know they deliberately target that aid truck, right? They deliberately, and that was the point. And that's when the tide changed, when people was like, wait up a goddamn minute. And I don't agree with the protesters, the pro-Palestinian protesters. I don't agree with what they're doing, stopping you guys going over a bridge, me walking around London. I don't agree with that, right? But the point is, their aim is not to not upset me. That, I'm a little casualty, and you guys are a little casualty of their aim, which was to, get the politicians in Washington to say, we got a problem here, right? And by nature, you know, by the news putting it out there, that came news over here, news in France, news in Australia, news in Israel, news in wherever. The point is, the news itself, and this is an unfortunate part of news. I think everyone should have a right to news and everything else. But news itself is a problem because if I had a good news story today, right? Hey, Dre, I won the lottery, you know, would the news give a shit? No.
Local news.
They only look. No, the local news wouldn't over here either. Right? But the point is, right, news in itself always looks and puts out this stuff. And that's what these guys' aims were, to get on the news. Right? And walking across that bridge would not have gotten the coverage across the world that stopping the Golden Gate Bridge did. Whether we agree with it or not, and I don't agree with it, because if they're stopping emergency services, right, and I think this should be a law right across the world. If you stop an ambulance, stop a fire engine, you damage a police car, damage a fire engine, damage an ambulance, in whatever case you're trying to do, right, you should be put in jail. Or if you're in that country, death penalty, given the death penalty. Because when you take a fire engine out in a protest, right, after the protest, that fire engine ain't going back on the road. It's out of action, right? So you're putting other people at risk further away from your protest. Yeah. Whether that was your aim or not, it's still done. Yeah. So the protest itself, by its nature, did achieve what it wanted to do, which was get people talking and people on the news and everything else, whether we agree with it or not. But the point, back to the start, where I said a protest by its nature will always cause a disruption to someone, whether we agree with it or not.
Okay. I'm not going to say anything else. We're going to move on. We're going to move on.
Yeah, we have to move on because, like I said, whether we agree with the rights of a protester or not, you know, in fact, I think we more or less agree. Yeah, you have to agree.
David,
by nature, a protest will always cause a disruption.
David, you're acting like my wife. When I say the conversation's over, it's over.
Yeah, I am acting like your wife, and we're not letting it go.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So what's going on? Is Paul gone, Justin?
He's gone to
he
an errand.
said he had to go do a some kind of errand.
He said he's. I think he's done an errand for the people upstairs.
Who's got the co-host?
I've got. Who's got host is Paul. Who's got co-host is everyone.
Oh, okay.
Oh, apart from Mark.
Okay.
Oh no, apart from you. Sorry, Mark has.
Okay, I'm just saying let's go ahead and shut this down.
We can't.
That's why I was asking who has co-host. We shut it down. You know.
So when Paul gets back, we're gonna have to protest Paul. Because he's caused disruption now.
Yeah, now he's causing disruption. He's not even here.
Yeah, he was supposed to give me hosts before he left, and he didn't. So.
Right, but moving forward, right? I don't hate you guys or anything else. Thank you for the debate, right?
All I ever say, David, is that to have a debate, you got to agree upon the facts. You can have your opinion on those facts.
Well,
I can have my opinion of fact, but you got to speak on the same set of facts.
But you still haven't agreed on my facts.
Like I say, the fact of the matter, what is the definition of a protest? The outcome of the protest varies.
No, we haven't. You haven't agreed. You see, my definition of a protest is to cause disruption, right? Not because that's what it says a protest is. Yeah, it's because by nature, right, it will cause disruption.
Well, disruption can come in a variety of terms. Okay, just like for me, if I want to protest something, I usually protest it with my wallet.
You protest it with your wall.
My wallet, my money,
right.
my money. So if you piss me off to the point I no longer need to, pay you any money for whatever you have to offer. I'm done with you.
Yeah, well, that's not a protest. That's just saying.
No, that's a protest. But guess what? I'm not coming in your shop to spend any more money. Yeah, that means you're not generating as much revenue that you used to, because I'm not there to spend my money.
Well, yeah, there is that.
And then, like I say, then I tell other people, don't go there either, because the service ain't what it's supposed to be, or the product's not what it's supposed to be. Now I'm gathering support, like you say. I'm gathering people to support me.
Right. Okay. Right. Now, wait up. What you're doing there is your right and is peaceful.
That's right.
Right. But do you think there'll be a victim in that? Do you think it'll cause disruption anywhere?
Oh, it's disruption, because if I get enough, like you said, if I get enough people who frequent that location to do whatever business they're doing, and they stop doing that business, eventually that person is affected.
Not just that person, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because at the end of the day, if I had a disagreement with you, say I stood outside your door and it's just me and you having a beef, right? That's it. That's just us two, right? But the protest by nature causes disruption to other people getting past and whatever else. What you will have done by stopping people saying, don't spend money in that shop, say, for an example, right? A chain reaction, but from your protest, right, has caused problems with its supplier.
Right.
Right. And its staff.
Yep.
And its other customers, because, if you don't get enough customers, right?
That's right.
But that's what I'm saying. By nature, a protest will always cause a disruption to someone, whether directly or indirectly. Yeah. Your aim of your protest was not to upset the staff. Yeah.
Yes, it was.
It was to upset the owner, right?
No,
You're not doing say your disagreement was with the owner. Your aim is to upset him, not his poor workers that are on minimum wage and whatever else.
This is all part of the thought process. My thing is, if I got poor service or defective product from you, and it gets to the point you don't correct it, whatever occurred, then guess what? Now your entire corporation, from top to bottom, is off the list. So yes, my role is to try to eliminate you completely.
Yeah, but your argument is with the man at the top. Yeah, the person that's giving you the bad service.
It's with the whole corporation.
But that young girl that works on reception that just has to take your call, yeah, she's done nothing wrong.
No, not directly, but indirectly.
But by nature, she's now affected.
Indirectly.
Yeah, exactly what I was saying about a protest. Whether we agree with them or not, if you're going to have one,
like I said,
it's going to have a knock-on effect.
Point. We just argue about rights of what people can do. Like I say, I'm not out there putting a sign out in front of his business. I'm not blocking people from going in his business. People who ask me, because they know I've done business with him, and ask me, how should I go there? I tell them I would not recommend it. I would outright tell them no, because of my reasoning. I can't force them not to go there, but I've given my opinion. Now, if his business drops off to a point to where he has to lay off employees, close his doors or whatever, that's a business decision.
So your
action with me,
but that's your way of dealing with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Now, again, my issue with bamboo, I am not going to tell people don't buy bamboo. Not going to. I will take my action against them. I will get my way in the end, right? In my way of protesting. However, yeah, it will unfortunately have a slight knock-on effect somewhere along the line. Yeah, because someone's going to have to keep dealing with me until it's resolved, right? And that's
Like I
what I'm
said,
saying.
We all have
right?
our ways of dealing with that.
We
but
all
I'm
have
saying,
different ways, and that's what I was saying at the start. These protesters, right? They're not interested in, you know, the little people of America, which is a shame, really. They should be if they're living there, right? They should respect your rights and stuff. But they're not interested. Their aim is to get their message as far out as possible. And unfortunately, they made that decision yesterday to stop a bridge. And by consequences, and we'll all agree that someone somewhere has not done their job because we knew about it. Yeah. If we knew about it, we should have been telling you guys. Yeah.
Well,
somebody over here, our news thing should have been saying
the communication lines are open.
There'll
for
be a
that.
chain of communication somewhere,
Right.
because every protest has a chain of communication. Otherwise, it ain't going to get out there. You can't have a protest if you don't have a chain of communication. Yeah. If I wanted to gather a crowd outside here now, by just standing there, people aren't those going to join me. Yeah. I have to get the message to people that have my opinion and so on. So someone somewhere has not done their job, and then the outcome is they blocked the bridge, and again,
Mark.
someone hasn't done their job and moved them on quicker. Yeah. Even if that was moving them to the side and saying allow 2 lanes of traffic each side or 1 lane of traffic to go, it's still something and it still gets movement. Yeah. But the point is, they didn't. They allowed them to keep that bridge closed for whatever reason. Yeah.
Well, I guess
way
they're only
too
closed
long.
for an hour or two, so they had their time.
We'll all agree on this. Now, me, in my sense, a protest should be you have your say and you move on. Yeah. You have your say, you move on. These guys had their say and outstayed their welcome. Yeah. And at the point where you outstay your welcome is where I would expect the authorities to come in and say, right, enough's enough, off.
Well, that's basically what they did.
Yeah. And I'm glad Justin was not involved, because Justin's way of off would be off and over the top of the bridge.
Well, like I say, there have been certain parts of this country that may have occurred.
Yeah. But the point is, they knew what they were doing, and protesters. They had their message out to other people, which wasn't picked up, and they picked their locations. Yeah. Like you said, every location will do it differently. Yeah. I mean, if I wanted to get my opinion, say against Justin, there's no point me doing it here, right? Because no one around here is going to give a shit. Yeah. But if I went into London, right, and stopped a main road, the big M25 with a big placard saying, I hate Justin, check your messages or whatever, right? The world's media is going to get that because I've caused disruption. Yeah. And it'll probably go further than I expected. But Justin will hear about it by nature because it'll be on the news. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. A protest will consequences, whether we like it or not, whether we agree with the rights to protest, which I do, peaceful protest. Yeah. Don't agree with the rights to stopping emergency services because that's not peaceful anymore. Right? And I think that's where we should be at. Yeah. What we declare as a peaceful protest and where does it cross the line from a peaceful? Yeah. Stopping a few people getting home a little, 10 minutes, people getting home 20 minutes late. Yeah. That's not too much of a problem. But if you're stopping an ambulance getting to someone by 20 minutes, that's a fucking big problem and you're no longer peaceful. Yeah. And that's where I would expect the authorities to step in and say, if they can't get through, you're no longer peaceful, you're causing harm to someone, off you go, and start carting them away. I'm sure you'll agree with that.
I haven't said a word, have I?
No, but I'm sure you would. Yeah. Where you you expect the authorities to step in is when they cross the line on peaceful protest.
Yes. Yep.
Shut up, Mark. Let us get a word in here. I'm sure you'll agree with me, Dre. Mark's just talked too much.
All the time, and he's using that spyglass to look for more stuff to talk about.
Yeah. I'm just doing my impersonation of Dominic. Yeah.
But what I will say, Dre, is thank you, right, for staying. You argued your point. You let me argue my point. We've got to a point where we disagree or agree or disagree. Yeah. And we're not going to continue it on, you know. To me, you're a decent bloke and whatever else. And sorry, Donald. Yeah. Where Donald,
Well,
yeah, he got in a huff. When?
Dave, I come from royal blood, so you know I'm a lord over there. So I got to keep my subjects happy.
Oh, so I'm a peasant now, am I?
Oh man. No, I like to have spirited debates, but I always know that. I always, like I said before, you gotta only can debate when the facts are established. We can't go off different sets of facts.
Now see, that's the point.
There's nothing to debate because one person's never going to understand the other person if we're not talking about the same.
And unfortunately, that was not allowed to happen because none of you was actually listening to what I was saying when I said, by nature, a protest will always cause disruption, whether we like it or not.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it has to, like I say, the definition is what's key. And if you had to put the definition of like I say, protest and the effects of a protest, that might have settled a lot of back and forth initially.
Well, no, because a lot of people, you see, as well, yeah, like I said, I knew before the protest it was going to happen, right? And I would have expected you guys to have known about it. And that's where the confusion is.
Which none of us, no one that we knew. And like I said, I'm looking at the news story here. And like I said, the way they're telling the story, there's no way that local law enforcement or where else were tipped to what was going to transpire.
Well, I'll tell you something else as well. When it comes to the authorities, yeah, they will, when they tell the news, they will not tell you how it is. Right? Someone will always cover their ass somewhere.
David, don't talk shit about me. I left because I wanted to talk about cameras. David, I wanted to talk about cameras. I wanted to have a nice, just friendly talk today, and you wanted to argue. I didn't want to do that.
I didn't want to argue.
I left. That's why I left.
Oh, fuck off.
Don't talk.
Oh, calm down, folks. Calm down. Calm down. There's no
this is what he does all the time.
No, but I'm just saying there's no reason to get nasty about anything. We're having a discussion. It can get a little heat at times, but we all have to think rationally all the time.
Exactly. Yeah.
On that note, I got to take off. I got to make a couple phone calls. I didn't know Paul was going to be gone this long. So.
Yeah. Catch you later, Justin.
Because he didn't say how long he was going to be gone for, so I don't know what he's actually doing.
He just said he was going to take a short errand.
Yeah. But I'll catch y'all later.
Catch you later. And on that note, just guys, I think I'll leave you guys to it because Donald has really pissed me off and I don't want to continue it.
Okay.
Right. Catch you all later.
All right.
I think it probably best to shut it down, only I don't know how to bleeding not shut it down.
That's why I was asking earlier who had co-hosts and nobody Paul didn't give it to anybody.
So I think most people have got co-host. Because I guess I best phone my mum up, seeing as it's her birthday, and wish her a happy birthday.
Well, that'd be a proper son.
Yeah. She is 87 today.
Oh, bless her heart.
Mhm.
All right, I gotta go, gentlemen. Behave yourselves.
I think there's only me and you left in at the moment.
Well, I guess it's gonna be
So,
you.
yeah.
Mark White Show.
I shall just close Zoom down and hopefully that will end it.
All righty.